Some they call it functional alcoholism, but if you know anything about Ben, he's got vision with precision, microphones and a tinkle of derision. You're about to hear what beer can be. It's time for Barley and Me.
Welcome to Barley Me. I'm your host, Ben Rice. We're here today in Sacramento, California at Nitty Cider. I should mention this is episode 165. We're talking to episode 11 guest.
I'm Nick Nitty from Nitty Cider. And I was also 2012 Sacramento's runner-up for Most Eligible Bachelor.
Ooh.
And I am Josh Kress, owner of Husick's Taphouse, and I was Hug Champion of 2020.
That's more recent. Nick, what's going on?
I mean, I can only do eligible bachelors once.
I beat out Rob Archie.
Oh. Whoa, okay.
Okay, yeah.
Well, I can't one-up that.
Yeah, no.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't you win it more times? Because you're still... Did you get married? Is there like, once we find one, did we immediately force them into marriage?
No, they just gave up. They're like, oh, Kress won it. All right, this is done. This isn't fun anymore.
Yeah, we're like, well, that's our winner for life.
Yeah.
I think it's like the Supreme Court. You're there forever.
That's a great mentality. I just give up.
Yeah, it's like, oh, this was a bad idea.
Well, this was more about the Bachelor thing. Like, did they force you into marriage? Were you in a marriage? They're like, you have to do this. We're going to meet.
No, the one I did.
You can't run again.
It was different. You can't run again, from what I was told. Or if you win, you can't run again. Someone has to nominate you, and I honestly didn't really care. And I found out that my brother nominated me, of all people.
Okay.
So I decided to have fun with it. And that's actually at the finale, the party where they announced the winner. I dressed up in a burgundy jacket and a white top hat. Mm-hmm. A picture was taken of me of that one, and that was the inspiration behind the logo.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, it is a very unique logo. And also we should mention it, Nitty Cider. Where does that come from?
So Nitty is a college nickname. It's a derivative of Nicky, and one drunken night it became Nitty.
Okay. That's a different story than I thought. I just assumed a small child had said this to you.
Oh, you want to go?
But of course, it's a drunken adult, which is very similar to a small child.
I mean, I could say back when I was 5, there was a neighborhood kid who had a speech impediment and couldn't say Nicky, and it sounded like
exactly.
Nitty.
You're totally good.
I could have been like that, but that sounds like an asshole story also.
No, that sounds like the real story.
Totally thought it was like a Nick and Titty hybrid, but I was way off.
Nice. Great. All right, we've gone off the rails immediately, which is exactly what I need. But I have to ask the only question I ever plan to ask here, Nick. How's business here at Nitty Cider?
So far so good. We opened up March 5th, and it's been nonstop. I've been making cider more than ever, and it's been kicking my ass, which is great.
Yeah, you have 16 on right now?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure one's going to kick tomorrow or tonight, and I have to bring a keg tomorrow, and it's just coming up with the new flavor to put on tap. That's the hard part, is what to put on tap.
Yeah. So it's summer, essentially. All right, it's like 175 degrees for no reason every single day, and then it's 64 the next. So you have to do you play to both sides of that, or do you just play to the 175 degree crowd?
I just pick whatever I want to put on tap, and then I also ask the staff what they like, and I say, no, that's a bad idea, we're doing mine. But I also do have one employee who actually requests mango, and I can't argue with that one because it's great. Yeah. It's a great time to have mango cider.
Yeah.
You can never go wrong. I mean, that's my favorite Arizona flavor, is that mucho mango.
See, I like the kiwi strawberry.
You would.
Yeah, I'm not really a big fan of mango flavoring, but you don't use flavor.
I actually use fruit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I use the fruit. I go source it myself. I juice it. It's really fun to use my little juicer at home.
Is that really what you're doing?
I do that for majority of the ciders.
So there's no industrial grade?
No, I don't have the NSF sticker on my juicer.
Just slapping in thousands of pounds, grinding it down.
Well, it's not as bad as it sounds, since I do it by the keg, so I'm not making a giant batch.
Oh, okay.
I start with everything with my base of the base cider, and then after I make 30 barrels of dry cider, okay, what keg gets this flavor, what keg gets that flavor, which one's going to have me juice too many pounds of strawberries, which is never fun. But
and the flavor barely comes out. You're like, come on, I did so... There's such a flavorful fruit, and then they're like, I put it into something, like, nah, nothing.
That's the worst. I hate when that happens. Like, I did so much just to get 2 gallons of juice, and you have 80 pounds of whatever. You're like, wow, that's a lot. So, speaking of that, 50 pounds of mandarins is about 3 gallons of juice.
That's not okay.
Yeah.
50 pounds.
So how many gallons? That's where I was actually going to go was, like, in a 15-gallon half barrel, how many gallons of juice are you dropping to flavor?
Well, there is a law behind that. You can only blend up to 15% of whatever the add back
not
is.
very much.
So like 4
Yeah.
gallons.
So you got to be very careful on what you're doing. You can always add it during the fermentation. That kicks up the alcohol content, which isn't a bad thing, but changes the whole flavor profile. I like adding afterwards because it brings out more of that flavor you're adding to it.
Yeah.
It's
The classic dry hopping of ciders.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's so many rules and regulations that I've learned throughout the years, and it's just some of them are just like, where did you come up with this one? Why hasn't this changed? And the reason why we fall under the wine category,
Right.
and knowing people in the wine really don't give two shits about cider.
Yeah, and then, of course, because you said that, we actually have to stop recording because this is a beer podcast.
Oh shit! Sorry. Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I'm out.
But obviously, I already knew that. But I was like, let's discuss it.
Oh,
Like,
speaking of beer and cider, I'm doing a collaboration right now with Berryessa.
oh,
Yeah, Chris.
closing that gap, the
Yeah.
Berryessa gap.
Chris sent me a message, and because we did a collaboration on March, was it 14th, 15th? When was the end of the world?
Oh yes, March 12th.
Was that the end of the world?
Yes, that
So-
was the Thursday. So
So what? It was the next Monday when everything shut down.
yeah,
So when everything shut down, I'm driving out to
March 12th
Berryessa.
was a
17th.
Friday. So yeah, 15th. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm driving out to Berryessa to drop off a tote, actually 650 gallons worth of Pink Lady juice to Berryessa. No one's there. Everything is just dead. And I give him a call and I said, "Where are you?" He says, "We shut down." I'm like, "Why? Why are you shutting down?" And then I read the news. And I was like, "Oh,
I've been out in the woods.
oops." So yeah, no, our first collaboration was the start of COVID.
Nice, perfect time.
Oh, it was great.
Perfect time for it. Sold like gangbusters.
Oh, it was great. No, that he did an apple lager, which was unheard of.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that was, he let that lager for a long time.
nice.
And it came out really good.
Is that Reds? Isn't Reds like, yeah.
Red's apple ale.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
There's
that's
a-
not,
there
not
there
the
was a
snobby
market. Nobody
Yeah.
wanted it. So
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, that's why you have cider.
Yeah, have you had a Reds?
Yeah, not in a lot. That was back when like Angry Orchard was your only cider that was like commercially available. And then you'd get the Reds because it wasn't as sweet. That's
Yeah.
actually why I would get it, is because the hop would bring it down just a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, not in a long time.
I can say I've never had a Red's apple ale.
All right.
I mean, I laughed at it.
You're not
because it's-
but then you made one.
Yeah, then I made, but I did a lager. That's a difference.
It's true. Red's apple lager doesn't exist.
Correct.
Fair point.
So the next one that we're doing right now, it's the return of Chris and Nitty's applesauce.
Nice.
And it's
Oh, nice.
I've
this-
seen that movie.
and this batch is made with Granny Smith apples.
Oh yeah,
Whoa.
I love a Granny Smith.
I got a chance to try it 2 weeks ago or last week.
How does that juice?
Yeah,
like
I've
Granny,
never had
Granny
that.
Smith. How does that flavor translate? Does it come through? Or do you got to put a shit ton of
I've
it
never
in?
had a Granny Apple juice ever, I don't think,
Yeah.
either.
Oh, it's good. Also, when you get it during harvest, it tastes so much better than right now because it's end of the harvest pickings that you're getting right now, and they've been in cold storage for the last 9-10 months. So you're not getting all the high sugars. They're not as good because the sugar levels that I got were about 11.7 bricks.
I don't know what that is. You have to
11
explain
points.
it to
11
me.
points. So we could.
That's a wine
Our-
term also.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Our sugar levels we measure in bricks, and
Right.
if you want a good idea of what it is, divide it by 2. That's
Okay.
just the base. I mean, for me, I don't want to break down the math and how to actually get the number. Just
Divide by 2. Yeah.
divide by 2.
It's kind of like pounds to kilograms. Like it's 2.2 something, but like
Ish.
just whatever.
Yeah, it's
2
like
is fine.
It's like a kilometer and a mile, or what is it?
1.6.
Do it 0.6 in one way.
Yeah, and you're good.
I mean, Josh was out in England just 2 weeks ago, last week.
Feels like it. Yeah. I was celebrating the Queen. Duh.
Yeah,
Nice.
he had to convert everything.
Yeah. No, I didn't. I stuck to Imperial. They were not appreciative of it. You know?
Drove
They
on the right, everything.
Oh, I
He's like,
know.
I'm not changing anything for you crowds. Like, we're not even crowds. Like, I don't care.
Z crowds. Yeah, well, it's cool. They're on miles at least on the roadways. So that was like the one unconfusing thing. But it's funny about bricks. I learned bricks, and you see this a lot of tap rooms everywhere now. Slushy machines. Like that's how I really got to learn about bricks was sugar content in your slushy is a very important thing because not enough sugar, it's gonna like crack up, get super icy. If it's too low, and then all of a sudden I started Googling like bricks, and I'm like, man, I've heard this. And then all my winemaker friends are like, oh yeah, the sugar content, we do that all the time. I'm like, oh, science. And then I never learned the conversion until today.
Yeah, it's easy. It's just basic. There is a website you can use if you want to, get the actual number. But
are you on any like watch list for people who think you might be trafficking heroin or cocaine because you're always talking about bricks? I need to bring in 5 bricks today. And they're like, I think this guy might be trafficking.
I've never said that in public. It's more private because
but if you put it in an email,
what I do on the side, I don't need people to know that.
I'm not the one with the unmarked van, so I'm out of this conversation.
I do drive around in a creeper van, so it's...
Oh, boy, just drawing all the attention. Mm-hmm. But that's when you know that they're probably not up to anything because they're being so obvious about it that it couldn't possibly be what you think it is.
Mine says not heroin on the side of my Explorer. So.
Perfect. Yeah.
Mine actually says not ice cream.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, we were talking about... Granny Smith apples, and they're tart and sweet. How does that translate into a cider? Do you have to put a bunch in, or is it actually not that much? Because it feels like it would be.
Usually they do about 70. I think it's 70 tons, so it's a standard bin.
Okay.
I mean, that's too high. I'm sorry. That's 70. I forget what the 70 is. It's one of the bins, and you get 70 gallons from a bin. I'm sorry, that's where the 70 comes from. So you get a lot of juice from the Granny Smith, which is nice. But like I said, the sugar levels were lower than I expected. Normally they're high 13, 14. This batch, not as high, but Berryessa loved it because they're shooting for a 5% beer.
Yeah, because doing your math, that's a 6.5er. You want to get it lower.
Yeah.
So that lower content was actually positive for you.
Yeah, so for them, they said, oh, this is great. They told me 11.7. I was disappointed.
Yeah, they're like, this is exactly what we wanted.
Yeah, because my cardinal rule of thumb is don't add sugar. And it's if I had that number come in and I was doing a Granny Smith only, it would be that. I'm not going to crank it up to a 14 or anything. We're sticking to a low alcohol content because I can't control the sugars.
Yeah, those session ciders, we love them.
I've got a weekend date for you and I, Ben. We totally need to hit up Apple Hill when it's harvest and find someone that'll juice us some Granny Smiths because now I need to taste Granny Smith juice.
What a Granny Smith juice is.
Oh, I think we should do a road trip.
I'm in.
Yeah.
My girlfriend's been bothering me about this for the entire time we've been dating, so...
I'm in. Yeah.
Still haven't done Apple Hill yet?
No.
What?
Because I went before with a different girlfriend. I'm like, this isn't really my thing. And I'm like, yeah, it's all about me is what's the important thing about these relationships. Your reaction tells me that I've probably been wrong for several years.
Yeah, just
a wee bit.
Just a scotch.
Just a wee bit. Yeah, so, I mean, really, I'm glad that we were on the same wavelength. I literally looked at you when he said Granny Smith juice, and I'm like, I've never, ever.
What does that taste like?
Yeah, like, I love a lot of juices, and I've spent a lot of time tracking down juices, and this was...
You know who has good juice? Trader Joe's. They have Honey Crisp.
Mm-hmm.
I've had that.
I was really shocked to see Honey Crisp, because I can get that from Apple Hill every now and then, and when I went inside the cold box to see what apples were available, I saw a sign that said HC, and I had to go ask, what's HC?
And she's like, what are you, an idiot? You new here?
That's exactly that was the look I got.
When I worked in the prison system, I was in the kitchen running trucks and stuff, and you deliver cases of fruit every day. And yet, oh man, when the Honeycrisp cases came in, like I was an apple expert because you're usually like every kitchen on the yard's getting like 3 to 4 cases of fresh fruit a day. It's like legally mandated. So, like, we were getting fresh apples nonstop. I'd never had better apples in my entire life in prison. And I got into the Brayburns real hard.
I'm not a fan of Brayburns.
A fresh Brayburn. Mm-hmm. And then those Honeycrisps. No joke.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, Honeycrisps, they're good. And the first batch I ever did with a Honeycrisp, the sugars were low, so I was kind of let down. But then I did another one, and they were up, and it was great. And it was like, every harvest is going to be different. So don't get your,
right.
hopes up for something else.
And then timing is everything as well, because the sugar builds over time, then it starts dying off. So you got to when it's picked is also important, right?
Oh yeah, you want to pick it. I also live on a vineyard, so we're constantly checking the sugar levels on the grapes, and when it hits, I think 21 is when we start harvesting, and it's just they don't want it higher than that, they don't want it lower than that, and if it's like they know exactly just based on science. It's like it has to be on this day at this hour.
Now, how do they test that? They just pull one off and throw it in, or do they throw?
Oh, they have a refractometer. They just take it and get like a Ziploc bag, and you just take random grapes throughout the vineyard, and you just smash it, and then put it in the refractometer, check the sugar levels, and you're done.
I had a Great Dane that could literally you could tell it was a week out from harvest because he'd start smelling the Chardonnay grapes. I've got vineyards in my backyard too because that's what we do in Clarksburg.
I didn't know I was dealing with old money here.
Oh God, I rent a house. Like if I get kicked out, I don't know where I'm living. But
I have a barn.
Yeah, I guess I'm living in the barn. Clarksburg can't get rid of me. But
It's not that easy.
yeah, Titus, he was a horse. He was 6'2". So he walked almost vine level, and you could tell he didn't give a crap about the grapes the entire time they're growing. And a week before harvest time, you could go and the grapes were looking good. And once he started putting his nose into the bunches, he wouldn't eat them or anything else. He would literally just nose the bunches. You knew within a week they were going to be out there harvesting it. It was crazy.
Nice.
Yeah, I think harvest is coming up next month for us.
Mm-hmm.
August. We've been picking in August, which has been shocking. It's normally end of August, beginning of September, but the last 3, it's been middle of August.
It'll be interesting this year not having all the smoke from the fires because that was a weird factor the last couple of years where we're like socked in. There's not a lot of sun on them, but there's a lot of heat.
Well, also this year there was a lot of frost.
Yeah, we had that weird frost that almost killed like 60% of the crops. Like, luckily they bounced back. There was a chance that a good 60% of the grapes coming out of not only Clarksburg but also Lodi, they got thrashed with late frost back in like April or May.
It was March.
Yeah.
No, maybe it was April.
It was.
I think it was April.
I think
It was a little
April.
late. It was that one weird one.
Yeah, I remember my brother was out of the country and he gave me a phone call about it, and he knew about it before I did.
Yeah.
And it was at 6 a.m. I get this
Well, I
phone
mean,
call.
you didn't know about COVID on the Monday after, so like,
I'm very
finger on the
observant.
pulse, not really
Very
happening.
observant. Let me tell you
That is a fair point.
You're like, what do you mean you're closed? They're like, we've been closed for days. The world's shut down. He's like, I'm just out.
Nitty
here.
was at St. Patrick's Day everywhere. He's like, this is the first time I've ever not had to wait in line. What's going on, everybody? And they'd all just look at him. And then like 4 days later, Wayne brings juice to Berryessa because that's a super close drive. Then he's like, oh, it's COVID. Oh. So I should not have been fake coughing on everyone and high-fiving. That's why nobody smiled at me.
That explains a lot now.
Yeah.
Wow.
But anyway, so your brother calls you. He's like, hey, this weather, what's going on?
Yeah, he called me and he said, did we get frost? And I said, what are you talking about? He says, go look outside right
Dude.
now and tell me what you see. And I went out there. I walked through the vineyard. Everything looked fine. Our neighbor to the left, about half of his vineyard got hit with frost, and it was just brown.
Yep.
It was dead.
Oh,
Like same thing where I'm at. You could see you see green and then brown and then green and then brown. And it was about a month, and then finally they're green again, and they're looking better. But yeah, I mean, I know whole vineyards that a lot of people would know that we're gonna maybe get like 20 to 30% yield total. That it's looking a lot better now, luckily. But yeah, it was nuts.
Yeah, so if you see a 2022
vintage.
wine
It'll be interesting.
from this region, it may cost a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here and Lodi. Lodi
Sure.
got torched pretty hard too.
Yeah, so for all you wine drinkers who are beer drinkers,
Yep. And now there's a war between those two sometimes. Is that accurate to say?
I think it's unnecessary. And honestly, most vintners I know are excellent beer drinkers.
And most beer makers also excellent with
Love
wine.
their booze. I mean, if anything, everyone's tired of their own hooch.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I drink lagers all day.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I enjoy cider, but you can only drink so much. And
Yeah,
I mean,
any good drug dealer won't do their...
yeah,
won't do
get high on your own supply. Yeah.
Yeah,
See,
and I
we
can't help but
keep
notice.
circling back.
I was going to ask the question. So you guys kind of got on that haze craze here at
Oh,
the cider.
geez.
Well, that's the
right?
fresh juice added back to it.
How? Nope. Just following trends.
Rolling
Yeah,
my
you're right.
eyes
You're
here.
right.
Shit.
Not a second you could get in
I laughed. I saw a cider and they called it a hazy cider. I said, that doesn't
Oh
exist.
my god!
I saw multiple in the last couple of weeks to the point where I'm getting a little frustrated by it.
There is no hazy cider. It's just
No.
unfiltered or not.
Yeah. No. 100%. But I got to bring it up.
Also, there is no such thing as an imperial cider.
But how do you know how heavy the alcohol is?
So this is the law that I learned many years ago about the do's and the don'ts. And if it and they also the feds changed the cider requirements to 8.5%. So if I'm able to get an apple that I can get up to 8.5%, I would be happy. I still call that a cider, but once you get past 8.5 for an apple or a pear base, you're now considered a wine. So you're now an apple wine.
Yeah. And then once you get past what becomes apple brandy? What percentage?
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's when you distill.
Okay.
Oh.
So
So you can't do that. No.
Oh, that's in my back pocket.
yeah, just hide it back there.
Wait, no,
a special.
that's going to be in the barn I'm supposed to be sleeping in
That
soon.
too, but no, that's in my back pocket.
But just imagine what you can do when you're like, I need to sleep. You just go find a
Oh,
little,
yeah.
boom,
So-
problem solved.
So I am working with a distillery to make me apple brandy because I can serve it at the tasting room.
Say what?
Yeah?
Yeah, I can
Because
serve.
I have a wine license, it technically allows for that kind of ABV.
Yeah, I talked to the ABC about that, and they said, yeah, you can serve brandy if it's fruit based, if it's anything that's fruit based, even if it's vodka. I mean, it would be considered an eau de vie, but still, it's anything that's fruit based. I can serve here.
You're not
That I
held
make,
to
that I
a
produce.
you're not held to a proof whatsoever.
My guess would be no. I haven't checked that one, but who goes over 45, 50%?
You do now, as your
Oh.
claim to fame.
Yeah, Imperial Brandy. Duh.
Yeah.
I believe that's called moonshine.
Yeah. Oh man.
Let's just light it on fire and see how check the blue flame.
I that'll be one of the specials here at Nitty's. That's awesome. I guess that's the other half of your behind your bar will be all your guys' hooch.
Oh
too, in
yeah,
the
no, I'm
future.
excited for that one because I don't have the proper license to distill it, but I can outsource it and I can
Bring it
buy.
in. Okay, so as long as you pay
You're still
for it.
paying
I can
a good
pay for someone.
wholesale,
Yeah, you
yeah.
pay a lot for the brandy.
Yeah,
Because
I'd
a lot of
imagine.
wineries use it for their ports when they have to fortify.
Oh no, you have to pay someone else for the booze and you have to sell it retail
Oh,
without
no.
the. No, I don't
God,
know.
you
about
don't know that at all.
Mm-mm. It's great.
Nope, nothing. Yeah, you are in and around all these products.
Yeah, I'm a peddler of everyone else's stuff. I've always claimed I don't have the attention to detail or the attention span to actually brew or.
Yeah, the
make
cleaning is
anything
really
like-
the thing.
And
for
the cleaning too.
Oh my
yeah.
god.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 90% cleaning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not my jam. That's
Not my forte.
like, Josh, why haven't you brewed beer? I'm like, that's why. And Clarksburg, water is a thing, and wastewater is especially a thing. So there's no way. Although I do own the name Clarksburg Brewing Company. Although,
Did you trademark that?
There's rights
yeah,
to.
I'm staring at Nitty right now.
Oh, speaking of Clarksburg, there is a cider company out in New York called Clarksburg Cider.
Ooh.
And I laughed so hard when it came across my Facebook feed, and I said, "Who's in Clarksburg making cider?" Then I had to look it up. New York.
New York.
There's a Clarksburg, New York.
I know there is
Shocking.
another cidery that was trying to be in Clarksburg also that
Yes.
is across the river.
That's technically Sacramento.
Yeah, it's definitely Sacramento now. But
they tried
They're
at
still being
Clarksburg.
made up in Oregon or Washington. No, it's down here now. Oh, they're no moss. Oh wow.
Oh, there are no moss.
Oh, interesting.
Wow.
I
The
get it though too.
cutthroat
I was told they went on
Uh,
hiatus.
Cider industry.
Well, I mean, that's actually kind of a true thing. I mean,
Yeah.
one day we'll talk about beer. Probably not today.
No, not today. I don't think
No.
today's today. That's totally fine.
The cider market definitely got it. I don't think it's as it's not as bad as beer,
do
but
you think it's saturated or not?
it's a bit saturated.
Okay.
Um,
Well, for me, I've found that a lot of the ciders, and this is not a dig at anyone because it's everyone.
It's
has,
the history of cider.
Well, it's everyone has their own style of making a cider, and they know what the market wants. I tried not to go what the market wants because I feel that's everything that's out there. I want to make something different and unique. So when you come into my tasting room, you have 16 different ciders, and hopefully 15 of those are all different and unique because that one is the base.
yeah.
Because right now you're drinking a blend of dragon fruit, raspberry, and mango.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, Ben behind the bar. That's his little concoction.
Yeah. Not particularly different from what you're doing in the kegs, essentially, right?
Yeah, same thing. Same concept.
I want these flavors in here. Great.
But
Yeah.
that's the thing when you break it down, it may not taste the same in the keg.
Right, exactly. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Because it gets to like swirl in there a lot longer. This is like real slapdash.
Yeah.
Oh, it's faster. It's easy. I like it that way because
Yeah.
it's your own style. It's your
You've
own
got full
version.
control. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, everything for me, it was like everything was tasting the same, and it was that time when new cideries were coming to the market. It's like, here's your time to shine. Be different. Be unique.
Yeah. And I don't think you could ask for a better background than you have, Nick,
No, not
in
at all.
cider. Because the cider industry, I think we're kind of dancing around it. Super sweet. It's super sugary, super sweet. Like, you and I talked briefly about our history around why we drink reds. It's because of that sugar content. And I don't think that your ciders have that. I don't think your previous employer's ciders had that.
Oh no, and that was one reason why I liked working there.
7-Eleven.
So what I started at Two River Cider. That's where I started. There is no Nitty's without Two Rivers. It's plain.
Yeah, 100%.
So when I was there, their cider, it was semi-dry. I don't even want to say semi-sweet because I hate that word.
Right.
But it was
semi-dry is a better word.
It was more
better descriptor of what
it was more on the dry side, and they have a new term for semi-dry, and I forget. Oh, it's called off-dry.
Jesus.
That's a worse term.
Jesus.
That sounds like
I'm
something
trying
off
not to
about
be
this.
angry right now.
Who came up with these terms?
Well, you know what? You know, everybody else here. I have an off thing for you. Why would you ever use that as a promotional?
So I learned a new word, gaslighting, and Nitty's doing that between his hazy ciders and this now. Jesus.
But yeah, no. When I started there, we were more semi-dry than everything else, and that was the problem. Everything else out there tasted the same, and that's why Two Rivers, it was good because people were able to find something that was not, mass produced or tasted like everything else out there. And then one day when I was still there,
and you wouldn't have a diabetic coma after 2 of them.
I know that's true.
I blacked out drinking an AC. Oh, sorry, AO. That's what's usually things. And you throw some of that cinnamon whiskey in there.
Oh, ew.
And then yeah. I had two blacked out. Couldn't remember. I woke up feeling like I had vomited everywhere. I was like soaked. And it was a new girlfriend. I was like, wait, what happened? I blacked out. Did I shit myself? Have I vomited in your room? Did you clean it all up? Did I tell you I love you? I was I'm not sure what happened.
One's worse than the other.
I feel like we should recreate this and tell the story.
Right.
I'm in. Okay, so we go to Apple Hill. We pick up some ciders. We mix it with Fireball.
This is what we do. We go in the van. We set up a little table in the back. That way, you guys, I'll be driving. You can sit in the back and tell the stories.
Figure out who poops themselves or who says they love you first.
Yeah.
I'm in.
We'll need a driver for that one because I want to be involved.
Yeah, we'll make Jill drive.
And I already love both of you, so that's pretty easy.
Yeah, I know. We'll get that out of the way.
It's not as embarrassing as a person you've known for a week.
So you know what? We'll add to the 6. We'll all have to drink a gallon of the fresh pressed non-alcoholic cider.
So apple juice.
The apple juice, but the unfiltered heavy stuff where you.
Oh, that's a gut bomb right there.
Then we get into it. Yeah. We let it sit, have an apple donut,
really,
just to soak it up.
Up the risk of did you shit yourself?
Yeah.
Really up that.
It's one of those.
So
who didn't?
Pro tip: where it depends, no one will know.
Yeah, you'll know.
Did you shit yourself? Depends.
I have the sports version myself.
Yeah.
So I can move around freely.
I've got all these baby diapers lying around now. They don't fit over me, but
You're not trying hard enough.
I get jealous.
Tape them all together and make one giant one.
Yeah. Exactly.
The only place it fits on you, Ben, is the one you wish it didn't fit on you.
Yeah, I know. I left that one out there for everybody. And we all just used our imagination for that one.
Oh, I thought about it.
And then some people will hear, no imagination necessary. All right. It's me. It was me. It was me that doesn't have to use it. All right, cool.
So Clarksburg. So going back to that, let's circle all the way back to vintners and all that. We literally have, if you've ever tried Silt Wines or you've seen Fellows or Muddy Boot out there, the vintner, also the farmer, Dave Ogilvie, I consider Nitty, I consider Dave. There's just a few people out I call my Clarksburg friends. Otherwise, I'm still a Sacramento kid that lives out there. Dude, he was a brewer for AB InBev. He would fix recipes and build stuff. He was a master brewer.
I didn't know he was part of that.
Dude, he went coming out of college. He started working for AB InBev.
Okay.
Yeah, he brewed out of St. Louis, and then he helped get the brewing operations for Pete's up in New Jersey or whatever, and get their recipes converted into their brew systems and all that in that 100-year-old brew house.
Yeah, I remember Phil, his brother, was saying, he's like, yeah, Dave does all the fermentation. He's in charge of all that.
He truly is a master of liquid sciences as a whole, and on top of it, a farmer who advocates for farming and all that. And total back at this scene, he won't say any of this stuff. He would never call this out. I do this all the time. I'm like, this guy does that. But yeah, it's amazing. His palate's out of control. It's fun just going out drinking with him, especially to great breweries. I took him to Olaro, and we just sat there and just plowed through all of Chris's beers, and it was fun just watching him just taste it, and then Chris come out and then talking about it. And I'm just saying, I'm sitting with two people who really know their shit.
Yeah,
this is fun.
You're just I'm just gonna sit in the corner. Please leave me alone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's just going to get ham-boned.
There's a very large difference between professionals and nerds.
Yeah.
Beer nerds going through that stuff is almost unbearable.
Yeah.
But you get two professionals and it's A lot
Yeah.
more fun.
I had a professional tell me that I was making my cider the wrong way.
And is that person still alive? I mean, that's just like, because that could have happened years ago, is what I'm
Oh,
saying.
it happened years ago. This was still when I was still at Two Rivers, and I laughed so hard at the guy. I had to say, okay, thank you. And I walked around. I walked away, laughed my ass off, came back, and it was, so how's that cider you're drinking? It's like, yeah, that's a sugar bomb. Like, don't tell me how to make my style. You know, you make your style, I make my style. It's like going to a brewer saying your IPA is wrong. You got to make it my way. It's like, no, we all have our own versions of making anything we want to make. That's the beauty part of making stuff. It's your style. It's like going, it's like going to Vegas and going to the same hotel over and over again. You have more hotels to visit.
Yeah.
But you're in your comfort zone. This is what it has to be. It's like, go explore. There's so much to offer.
Yeah.
Or just don't spout off about it, dude.
Yeah.
Why
can't cider have variety? Yeah. Every other thing has variety.
One of my favorite ones. Some guy made a comment on an Instagram post that back in 2019. I made an avocado cider. So
I missed that one, and I was very sad about it.
So I usually make that one during around May.
Yeah,
for some reason. I can make it any time of the year, but I like doing it during May. And I make and I got the idea from when I was in Austin. I had an avocado margarita, and I thought it was amazing. And I thought, well, I make alcohol. Avocado's a fruit. Yeah, that's a no-brainer. So I made that, posted on Instagram, and then I want to say maybe like 6 months to a year later, some random guy makes a comment. It's like, that looks like, first off, he says, not cider. I'm like, well,
it is.
Sorry.
Motherfucker.
I said, maybe it is. But then he says, and then his buddy chimed in and says, yeah, it looks like something from Chernobyl. And I thought, you guys are having a conversation on my picture, and I'm not chiming in. I'm reading because it's more entertaining for me to read. Yeah. And I wanted to actually time it properly where I wanted to respond back to him and be like, hey, it's been 6 months since you posted that. I feel like at the same time, it's that time for me to say, you're right, it's not cider, it's wine.
Dude, has anyone tried, and I think you're going to be the hero we asked for and needed, a tomato cider?
I've done tomato cider.
Oh,
I used to make that.
Where's that go?
So when I was still at Two Rivers, we made a tomato cider for the Tomato Fest in Cape Valley. And my first one I ever made, I was at Dad's Kitchen, and they had the Macintosh on tap, and they were serving bloody beers because they're licensed beer and wine. And I said, hey, the Macintosh is very, very acidic. Can I use that to cut back the tomato juice?
Yeah.
And they said, are you sure you want to do this? I said, yes, I am. And I made my first tomato cider at Dad's Kitchen, and I remember my portions. So when the Cape Valley came, actually it was Beers and Sack who came and approached us when I was at Two Rivers. They said, hey, can you make us a tomato cider? And I remember Vince's saying, I don't know about that. And I chimed in and I said, we can. Let me teach you. I'll show you the way. And
dude, this sounds so good right
we
now.
actually-
I'm like,
I
want
am
that.
salivating.
Give me a bloody cider.
hold
any
on.
day.
I'll be right back. You guys talk really fast.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
We're going to do it. He like has tomatoes in the back. Throw some salt in. All right.
God, this is why I love Nitty so much. Let's make this about me now.
Please
okay?
do, Josh.
Thank you.
You do so many things. You gave us very simple intro.
Yeah. I'm notoriously shy.
Are you?
Soft spoken.
Best hugger. Yeah.
Yeah, best hugger for sure.
He's like, I wear the shirts so they talk for me.
Yeah, I've become shirt guy, which is weird. So yeah, Husick and all that. During COVID, I do videos like what's going on, and I had some funny shirts, and so I'd wear them, and then my engagement went up. I'm like, okay. I also have a shopping addiction, so this really
fits
hand
everything.
in hand. It gets written off. So wearing different shirts. Today I'm wearing. I was a sad boy all day, so I decided my shirt was going to get close to it. My sad bod shirt. This gets more play than I remember. It's just owning it. It's like self-deprecation's like my main go-to humor.
I mean, it's a key part of being people who are us.
Yeah. Where our self-esteem is always in question.
Yeah. Never good.
No.
How are you doing self-esteem? Bad.
Oh man.
Every time.
So like,
but you're so outgoing. It's like, I gotta hide it. I gotta do a lot of hiding.
Look at this, dude. All right, you guys can't see this.
That took like 30 seconds.
This is like pink.
I thought we had like 5 minutes.
Goodness. Oh shit.
Okay, I'm back.
Like,
So I had Bloody Mary mix in the.
Okay.
Cheers, my friend.
I had Bloody Mary mix in the walk-in because I've been making this here for my own personal reasons.
So I'm like,
I guess on the ratio, I was like, is this the right amount? I can't remember.
Yeah, I think you got pretty damn close. I'm like semi-honest the wagon, like just behaving and like, oh, I'll have half a beer or a beer, especially during the week.
Yeah.
I just got to keep working on those weekends. But I was going to slow roll. So I've had like half a cider. He brought us out full ciders, and this full cider is going to be gone. It's dude, this is amazing. Like to the point where I buy those Bud Light Micheladas because I'm jonesing for that.
Dude, yeah, I mean, it's such a great drink.
And
I don't understand why people are so against tomatoes.
I don't
it's the
either.
best.
I drank V8 as like
Yeah.
a 7-year-old.
Dude, my grandpa had a greenhouse up in Montana, and like so hothouse tomatoes, fresh, and he just pull it off. And I would just eat them like a damn apple, and people were like, "What?" I'm like, "Because you've never had good tomato. Like people are so used to those shitty beefcakes that are mealy."
Oh God, a bad tomato's the fucking worst thing that could ever happen.
I cut into Aroma today, which usually you can depend on it.
Dependable.
It was a mealy one, and it ruined my day. It ruined my sandwich. I threw the sandwich away. I didn't. But
I can't go to South anymore because one time they gave me fried green tomatoes that were red. I'm like, hey, this is not.
Didn't South close?
It did.
It's on its way
because they kept giving people red. I assume, but I'm like,
That's
I mean,
what I
it's
read.
in the name. It's in the name.
Yeah, fried green tomatoes.
You look at it and go, that's not green. Just tell me, hey, we're out of green tomatoes. Don't give me this.
It's just fried red tomatoes now.
Yeah, tell me that first off.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, no, that's not what I want because it'll be too mealy by the time you cook it.
yeah, and it's one of those like the chef's not like you're out at chicken. Go, okay,
I'm
no
sorry
chicken.
for outing South on that. I'm sure it was a one-off because they're very well regarded.
Oh, I love their food.
Yeah, I've been there plenty of times.
I was devastated when I heard they were closing.
Yeah,
It's a
it was
common-
the one time, but it was like that sucked.
Well, we encountered it. I mean, having employees and stuff. This is where I get to act like a 1%er that just doesn't make any money. That's always the tough part of being an owner or manager of any kind of these restaurants or whatever. It's like you guarantee if people like it was just one of those days where the kitchen's like fucking I'm not talking, the front's not talking, and they could have said it. Hey, it's only red tomatoes right now, and the front be like okay, and they could have warned you. Nobody cares, and it's literally your business sitting there on the line, and they're like, we're gonna make this work. Which I was that shitty employee when I was young.
And it's like they've instilled in you, like, hey, we're getting a lot of waste. There's too much waste, and all of a sudden, like, well, they're not green, but they're not. Like,
I got to save them some money. That's the other part where they're trying to be too good. Like, I'm gonna save boss some money, and it's like, oh no, you just cost me more money for a longer time because they're going to talk about this on this highly rated podcast.
Yes, well reviewed. We've got like 21 reviews over the course of 7 years. That's the average.
How many of those are Phil Webster?
None.
How many from your mother?
That's
0.
Oh, even better.
Yeah, my mom does not understand what I'm doing at all, anytime. She's like, why? Like, I remember I did a show since we talked about it, I did a show at Budweiser in Fairfield.
Yeah.
And I sent her pictures like, look, my name in lights, because they had like rice written on the wall. You know?
That's great.
And she's like, did you lose your job? What are you doing with your life? Like, I still have my job. I just also do comedy. And like, she's like, it took her husband dying to be like, oh, I kind of, and like finally like pursuing these things she hadn't pursued. It's like, oh, I get it now. Because I've been telling her, like, she's a musician. She's like a music professor. I'm like, you should release, like, all the compositions you've created, you should sell. So people can like access that and make some money off that. She's like, no, it's not what I don't understand that. Then I'm like, do it. You've been writing for 30 years. Just like, start selling them.
Oh, I bet she has a great library.
Yeah. And she did. And she's like, I love it. It's great. I'm so happy I'm doing this. I'm like, yeah, you understand? Like, the outlet's cool, but like, if you can find a way to like share with people, that's a lot more fun.
And something I'm dealing with this year, especially, I'm celebrating my 4th anniversary this year at Husick this week.
This will come out on Monday. I'm very sorry.
I know.
Hey,
That's
come
fine.
on down, July 9th, everybody. Oh, it's the 11th.
Don't
Too
worry
late.
about it. I literally made it low key. I didn't even want to do anything. This
Are you
is
doing
how
a high key one? Just a high key anniversary? Like at the end of the month?
If I make it to next year, I'll do a high key. That'll be number 5.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah.
That's a really big. I mean, but that's what I'm getting because the summer is always a rough time because it's like the beginning of the fiscal year for all government entities, and so they decide to start really coming out of the woodworks to really start pursuing you and really making you not like being a business person. And going to like what your mom's doing and what I'm dealing with, like I shut down in January, reopened with a wing and a prayer, and a landlord that would rather us be there and be open than me go into bankruptcy to not pay him. that's one thing that, what your mom has probably always held her back, and what we all deal with when we come into is like the likelihood of going out after something you want to do, and you yourself with your comedy especially, is like the chances of failure are so damn high and crippling, and the fear of failure is so crippling. And then like when you're teetering where you're like failure's always kind of sitting there, and like I'm just always staying ahead of that ball right now, I still wouldn't trade any of it for the world, because the experiences, the people, getting to see everyone grow and whatnot. And you also realize like it's not the end of the world. Yeah. Like I can fail and I'll just come back and do something else.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll find a way. I mean, it's okay. Like I can deliver pizzas and figure it out and then come back and do something else, or go work for the state again, you know?
It's weird to think about that. Like, for me, if I fail on this, it's what's my backup plan? I really don't want to have a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
I can't.
I have one on top of it.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. You do so many things, Josh. It's nuts. Because you also help organize trivia.
Yeah, I'm the sales. Yeah, I'm the national sales director for King Trivia.
King Trivia. We do trivia here on Tuesday nights.
I know. I know. I see your ads every time. I wonder why my friend didn't ask me.
I'm just saying. You have my number. You could have contacted me.
I didn't know you were. You know what? There's shoulda, woulda, couldas on both ends. Oh, we'll talk about this afterwards. Yeah. But no. I mean,
it's.
But it's also like it's so much. Also, like
trivia takes a lot.
I mean, we're not cheap, but if you want to do it right, I mean, that's the difference between somebody coming in. I mean, you get lucky every once in a while. You get the unicorn that loves it, is a retired teacher, and they can do it, and they don't charge you any money, and it's magical. Yeah. And then there's, hey, we need a consistent program and a company that will staff it, make content, and have brand recognition, and infrastructure, that's our specialty. And that's what we do. And my job, and I manage a sales team, which is a new endeavor that I'm struggling with, because I can sell. Micromanaging especially is not me.
Yeah, no. Let your employees work, and you're like, no, you got to control them. Like,
listen to their phone calls and this and that. I'm like, oh no,
pass, hard pass.
Yeah,
read their emails while they're at it.
No,
there's a side barbecue. Josh isn't invited.
Yeah. Also, there's some bricks being shared.
Yeah. Have you mentioned bricks in your trivia conversations, guys? That'll be in my next sales meeting. I'll make sure I introduce bricks. But yeah, so having a 9 to 5, luckily with remote working, it doesn't feel so 9 to 5-y. The beauty of being able to walk away, do laundry, then be back is magical. Going back to a cube and running the business it's like, wait a minute. I don't get the fun of being a business owner and some of that freedom. I mean, the crippling fear nonstop. But also, I get to still have to clock in and clock out. I'm walking a thin line.
Yeah. You like when I might not make it tonight. I'm like, oh, what's going on with trivia? And then you're like, no, the third thing. I'm like, Jesus.
No. Yeah, half was and that's half of the reason I didn't come. Like half was working. Like I'm trying. I don't want to be a total downer, but it's a struggle right now, and I didn't want to be like busting out a ton of reality. I wanted to keep talking about bricks and wine and how great Nitty's doing, and how he's going to be able to sell hard alcohol. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, I'm more excited.
I'm not jealous.
One of the things I often want to push with this podcast is the fact that everybody assumes you're making money hand over fist, and like you're not.
No, I'm actually putting more back into this. Into the tasting room.
Like
with the summer. Have you ever experienced Sacramento summer? It's fun.
Your guys is the heat. It's not even 100 degrees in here.
I have an outdoor patio right now, and I had to get ready for that in March when we opened.
Those misters are going full steam.
Oh yeah, and then the shade sales came in last week, and then they.
Do you want to tell them how much your mister? Because you got the real misters.
I got the commercial misters.
Oh no,
I want to tell them how much those cost.
They're expensive.
People don't understand how much.
They're 5 figures.
Yeah,
5 figures.
A 5 figure. They're
per.
Yeah.
So the unit itself. The unit itself is 5 figures, and then you have to hire someone else to come out and do the install, which is another like $2,000.
So when you go to next time you go to a brewery or to Husick's Taphouse and you go like, why don't you have misters? One, if I bought the cheap ones, they would break down.
Yeah, they'd fail,
and they wouldn't get you mist, and you'd be soaking wet.
Yeah.
These ones, like at Urban Roots here, Alaro,
Lefties, Sackyard.
Yeah.
You're talking 10 to 14 grand on the equipment alone.
Let alone.
And then they still love to break down.
They need to install it. They need to come in and repair it.
Like,
yeah,
it's like, why don't you have this shade sale? How much?
Shade sales aren't cheap either.
No,
don't forget
fucking boat.
We had that windstorm like a year ago, and it tore mine off. They were broken because they weren't high quality.
The shade sails I purchased, they can handle 150 miles per hour of wind.
Yeah,
so it's the high end.
Nitty could have bought Husick's Taphouse for what he spent on his patio. Like,
yeah, pretty much.
Just keep thinking about that, bud. If you want a second location, it's
ridiculous
yours.
Of how much when you put commercial in front of anything, price goes up. But also you understand. Yeah, that's the other thing. Quality goes up.
Industrial, commercial.
The misters are stainless steel tubes.
Yeah.
You go to Home Depot, you get the rubber stuff, and that breaks down faster.
Yeah. There's commercial grade, there's industrial grade. There's a reason that they use those terms.
Yeah,
and also, not to mention, when you put shade sails up, they have to be flame retardant.
Yeah.
Because I can't just go buy a random one off Amazon and be like, oh, this works. It's like, no.
And it's like, oh, highly flammable.
No, because the fire department comes out and they take a lighter and they light it and like, is it flame retardant? Guess what? It's not. It burns.
Yeah.
Well, and Nitty's playing this whole like dangerous game of he's in probably one of the most choicest corners in Sacramento. When I heard where he was going, I'm like, holy moly, dude. But the downside is you can't, like, you're under a microscope constantly.
Yeah.
Anything and everything. You're in a government city to start on top of everything else. Like, they're like enforcement just hangs out. They'll hang out for a cider and then see something. He cannot cut a single damn corner, which corners are a lot of money. Quite often.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you don't want to screw anything up.
Like it's
like do it right the first time.
Yeah,
don't take shortcuts.
Then maintain. You have to maintain.
Oh yeah.
Knocking on wood. I mean, I hope you don't have a fire season where people don't even want to be outside and stuff again and things like that. I mean, it's not fun. It's a ton of fun and not fun at the same time.
Yeah.
Anthony over at Bottle and Barlow, also owner of Anthony's Barbershop, he put out a great question today on Facebook. He's like, as a business owner, is it better or worse for me if I were in, let's say, a spot of another place that's closing down? Is it better that for the month or two beforehand, I let you know that we're struggling and we're most likely going to go out of business? We're not there yet, but we're trying to. Yeah. Or do we just wait until I have to pull the trigger? What's in your guys' opinion? Would you?
It's hard for me to do the hypothetical because I haven't experienced that yet.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm very open with the employees and I tell them what's going on, and I know if this is struggling, I'm going to say, hey guys, it's not looking good right now. We got to cut back hours. We got to do this.
Yeah,
we got to do
looking
that.
for a second spot.
Sometimes, sometimes failure scares people away. Like people are like, "Oh, I'll support you," but then I was like, "Oh, there's a reason they're going out of business." Staff 100%. But yeah, I having been on that side of it one way or another, and another local business owner chimed in saying, "Hey, yeah, when we closed, I got a whole lot of, well, did you do this or you should have done that?" Yeah, and I got that. I got that.
Like, fuck you.
When we shut down, it's the same thing. Well, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? It's like,
that's also the same way when you start a business. They tell you should do this, you should do that. It's like, well, I envisioned this instead. If you wanted to be a part of this, you should have said, hey, let me help you out.
Like the only advice you could take in this industry is make a hazy, and that's the only. That's it.
Hazy cider. Look at that Bloody Mary cider I just made for you.
I've got two hazies right in front of me.
This is a rosé hazy cider
with tomato,
with tomatoes,
tomato garnish,
peppers.
Vitamin C.
Yeah,
a lot of vitamin C.
Yeah, like, oh god, it's the worst. And I think the answer is, unfortunately, like, you've got to announce, hey, we're in bad times, because people will like support that, but they won't support it enough to keep you open.
Well, they'll all come once, and the people that care that are going to support you are already doing.
They're already there. Yeah,
that's the thing. And you don't want them to feel bad. You want them to soak in and not be bummed out and have the best experiences as long as it's possible. The ones that are going to come and like quote unquote support. They're going to come in, spend once, say, look at me, I'm helping you.
I'm here.
Here's my ideas. And then bounce and on to the next. And that's it's I think...
they're going to post on Instagram, I was here, hopefully they don't die. And that's like the end of your thing.
Yeah.
Here's $22 and a post. Is that enough?
People do it for the likes, that's why.
And I don't want the people that have loved and supported me and given more than again, low self-esteem. We talk Maybe in this
you were away.
Yeah, we were talking about self-esteem.
Self-esteem issues.
I don't want people that I already think give way too much love and support way too much, feeling obligated to give more because I couldn't somehow make this work. And I think that's my biggest thing is like, I want you to enjoy it as much as you can. I'm going to do everything I can so I don't let you down. It may happen. That's the name of the game.
And if I can butt in real quick, just go by Husick's and get some pulled pork sliders.
This is not a cry for help.
But no. But this is
go get the buffalo chicken sandwich.
Oh, the Cubano, man.
Oh, the
Cubano's also great.
Best in California. I'll fight him in.
I'll fight everybody. Look, you make incredible food. Oh. It's so good.
It's fat kid with a kitchen. You better.
God damn it. Like, I'm like we have the show.
Yep.
Yeah, we do. And
first Friday of every month, Cutthroat Comedy. Ben puts on incredible show, brings incredible comedians.
Tournament of Champions in August.
I've never attended.
Let's do this August.
I've been trying to get out there.
August 5th, I think, is the first Friday.
Yeah.
I have.
If you're around, come over. I'll buy dinner.
Everybody's confirmed with me, so I could make a flyer. I just haven't. I could get it to you early for promotion, and I haven't.
I need to make a flyer myself.
I hate them.
I just put out flyers for my anniversary party 3 days before.
Yeah.
I have a golf tournament coming up in September, and I need to make a flyer.
I'm in if you want.
How many flyers have we made for Cutthroat? Like 22?
Yeah.
At this point, so I'm like, now it's just a picture of my cat with names on it.
I absolutely hate it, but I also love it because it's so it. I couldn't imagine anything different now because as soon as I see that cat, I know exactly what this flyer's about.
Yeah. Yeah. But only you do. Only you do. No one else has any clue.
But I haven't asked you to change it because it's comfortable now.
Yeah. I mean, because everything else, we had the one where, someone was fighting someone, there was blood involved.
Yeah.
It's that's turning away families, and it's kind of a family atmosphere. And it's just this, I'm like, here's a cat. It's clearly angry. That's close enough. Right?
Otherwise, we make it stick figures of comedians begging, and we put each comedian's face on there.
Do stick figures, Photoshop their head onto it.
Yeah, I think I pitched one where it's a robotic, a human that's got a robotic jaw laughing, and I'm like. Maybe that?
For you, those of you who are listening.
Their throat had been slashed because cutthroat.
Oh, God.
But it was replaced with metallic stuff.
Wow. If you guys have better ideas, you want to send ideas to Ben, we are open. Otherwise, it's the cat.
It's the cat.
And come on out. I will.
If the cat works, why not?
I do for the championship. I do use Street Fighter 2 as championship edition.
Okay,
obviously as a guy.
You should do more Mortal Kombat.
Do they have a championship edition? Because that's what's important.
You're literally doing what we were just complaining about.
Was I?
You should do
You're
Mortal
right,
Kombat.
I was doing that. No, because
I thought that was on purpose. I thought he was making a joke.
Hey, let me tell you how to run your show really fast.
Look.
Hey, first off, you're hogging the microphone. You got to cut it down a little bit.
We're having a good time. I'm getting close. I'm cuddling up.
I was thinking of the finishing moves with Mortal Kombat. Yeah. Who is it when they take off the head? Who decapitates him?
With the spine or without the spine?
With the spine.
Oh, that's Sub-Zero.
Yeah.
That's the pull.
Was it Sub-Zero? Oh, yeah.
He
Scorpion.
does the pull up.
Yeah.
Oh, but I think they both did.
I think Scorpion pulls the spine also.
I haven't played that game in such a long time.
Yeah,
the new one's
Scorpion
crazy.
set you on fire in the first one.
Oh, yeah, that's true. The spine was Sub-Zero then.
Sub-Zero is the originator of spine. Tearing your heart out is Kano.
Yeah.
Doing nothing impressive is the
celebrity.
God.
Oh no!
Oh yeah, Raiden.
Or who is it? Johnny? Who's it?
Oh, he shocks you.
Yeah.
Ugh. Johnny Cage.
Johnny Cage. Yeah.
Let's talk about the Mortal Kombat movies. How do we feel about every single one of them? The
newest
one. How do we feel about the newest one versus the first one?
It was missing a little Chris Lambert in the last one.
Yeah. Better replacement.
It just. How do you make a movie that's a video game is what I want to know. Batman, no.
They're still trying to figure it out.
It's just so hard. Look at Mario Brothers.
Great.
That was dope.
I bought it when it came out on DVD.
John Leguizamo is the best Luigi ever.
Of course he is. I'm not saying he isn't.
Who was the actress that played
Princess?
Peach? Yeah.
I could not even remember that
one.
I just remember John Leguizamo.
Dennis Hopper.
Dennis Hopper was in it. Never mind.
John Leguizamo and Bob Hoskins. How do you... I mean, they don't make sense as brothers, but they're like, hey, you can't tell they're brothers in the game, so that's kind of what we're going to play.
Bob Hoskins was actually a perfect Mario.
Drunk the whole time.
Looks-wise. Yeah.
Yeah. You hated being there? Great.
Rock bottom Mario.
He's like, did I get a paycheck? Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't say no to that.
Yeah.
Dude.
Classic Dennis Hopper phoning it in era. Oh, man.
He's like, all right, Dennis, you're just going to be creepy. He's like, I got this. I'm going to dip in this goo a little bit. And
I'm going to do Blue Velvet and Speed together. Is that okay? And then
Samantha Mathis was...
And she has done plenty of things. She was... Yeah, she's done plenty of stuff.
She's
ever
also
since.
one that hasn't aged. Oh, Broken Arrow.
Oh, okay.
Dude.
I
John
haven't
Woo's
seen
first
that
American film.
in a long ass time.
Whose
John Woo is his first American film, I believe.
was that? I didn't know that was Woo.
John Travolta
Yep. And,
Christian Slater.
Slater.
And Howie Long.
Howie Long? I forgot how
His
that
third build.
Yeah.
That movie's awful. I've watched it probably 25 times. I've never enjoyed it, and I still like.
Well, and Face Off was like a year before or after, too.
No,
Like,
after It
those
was
were
after,
bangers.
and so good.
Yeah.
People talk about shit about Face Off, and I'm like, what are you seeing that I'm not seeing? Because this is perfect from beginning to end.
I mean,
I
the
love
acting
Face Off.
was horrible.
What are you talking about? They were
Ish.
playing each other. That's why it was bad.
Do you understand? Two overactors overacting to the maximum.
That's the thing.
Are you kidding me?
Pre-Face Off, it was good. It was once they got there, or it was bad. Once the faces were on,
Oh my god!
it was perfect.
Yeah,
It
because
was
they
like
had to play each other.
yeah.
Then they had to, you know.
Oh my god!
It was dead on. It was amazing. Yeah,
it's
it was
so
the
good.
the first part. I'm like, just cut their faces off, please.
Yeah, it's true. I don't
Yeah.
need this family drama, but it was fun to see the family drama. Like once they changed. You're right.
Yeah.
That's so weird. Like, I want to know who came up with that idea. Like, hey, I got this great movie pitch for you. All right, one's a cop, one's a bad guy.
They switch places.
They switch places. We cut off their faces.
One on purpose, one on accident. Like what a fortunate turn of events.
They have the same bone structure and everything.
No, they
Same
don't.
build.
They
But they
change
don't
it.
whatsoever.
They have. They do
One's
the thing
got a
like-
wide head, one's got a narrow.
But they show the computer showing that it shrinks their head and widens their body. They thought of everything. Like, oh, this thing goes. If you get chopped in the throat, your voice will change. Like they thought of it all, and it's like, no, we're not gonna let these fucking watchers.
the
talk
science
about
in
this.
Total Recall was more sound than in that movie.
No, the science is all disastrous. Like, there's no explanation. It's just it does work, and that's like deal
Total-
with it.
1987, 8 Sharon Stone topless Total Recall was more believable than Face Off. Like,
Oh, remember the girl with 3 boobs in Total Recall?
oh yeah,
Nobody doesn't remember that.
no one has ever said
Seminal
no.
moment in film.
Yeah,
I mean,
a blind person
I think I
maybe.
was 6 when that came out. I was like, ooh, 3 boobs.
Whoa. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, what happened?
that's
Paper
when I.
mache.
That's when I knew anything was
Wait,
possible.
paper mache? Like, yeah, paper mache.
If you believe in something hard enough, it can happen. And that's what I learned from that movie in that scene.
Oh, such a classic.
Yeah.
Classic.
And the new Total Recall didn't have it, which was
Oh,
disappointing.
I didn't even watch that one.
I haven't watched it either.
It's like
It was
Hollywood.
actually really good. Yeah.
disagree.
Well, Hollywood's getting boring because they keep remaking everything.
True, but the way they did this Total Recall, it was not. It was so. It went to the original story.
Well,
I guess.
Okay.
have you seen the new Father of the Bride?
God, no,
I-
I didn't watch
I-
the old ones.
Okay, then never
Oh,
mind.
first of all, watch them.
How dare you? Okay.
Father of the Bride Part 2 helped me with being a father, dealing with pregnancy. I'm like, oh, I got this. I watched Father of the Bride 2 97 million
That's your fault for
times.
impregnating somebody. Now you have an escape. That all of a sudden Steve Martin's funny. That's why you have to make a baby.
No, it was funny when I was 13.
Oh,
I'm like, oh, I got all this. Like when she was doing all stuff, like I saw this in a movie in 1994.
I got it.
and I've got this.
dude, this needs to get on tap. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've been trying to make that
Yesterday.
one. I have to filter that one because, or strain it because of the seeds.
So I feel like what would you call this? What would you put as a name for this
Oh,
cider?
so first off, let me.
Do you have a name?
No, I don't have a name for that one yet. But let me give you the background of all the names that's on tap.
Great.
They're all, it's all music related. So it's
Right.
either the name of a song title or a lyric in a song.
Okay.
So if you go down there, you'll be like, "What's
So-
this? What's that?"
What's Guavecito?
It's a pun off Suavecito.
Of course it is.
keep going. I'm googling
Yeah.
tomato-themed songs.
Yeah.
So you keep going. Ben, keep them busy.
Ben, keep
Yeah.
looking at the board. What are you drinking right now besides the tomato?
The something shot. The something shot number 8.
Disco hotspot.
Yes.
I never meant to be so bad to you. One thing I said I would never do. It was heat of the moment. Asia.
Oh my god.
Wait, is it Asia? Yeah.
Dun, dun.
Yeah.
Clap.
Heat
Yeah,
of
yeah.
the-
That's Asia. Yeah.
Yeah.
Girls
Yeah,
Rock Your Boys.
That's not on tap yet.
Dude, there's not a lot of tomato-themed songs, specifically tomato. Like,
What about something with pepper or spice? I made a pickle back cider,
Okay.
and
ain't no
one-
pickleback girl?
actually it's called Pickleback Rider.
Oh.
One of my employees' girlfriend came up with that name because I had a name, I forgot what it was, but I remembered hers. So if I remembered hers, it must have been a lot better than what I came up with. And it actually sold pretty damn well, and I wish I had it so it could pair with this one.
So what's with all you guys having girlfriends? I can do another podcast on that one, but I mean,
Okay.
What are you guys doing that I'm not?
Well, I was incredibly funny one night ever, and a person saw me do it, and that was the start.
You hit a home run right out of the
Crushed it.
first at bat, home run. Love
Crushed it. Then she sent her friend to talk to me, so I thought her friend was interested. So it took like a year. It was January. January is when we met, and December is when we started dating. There was a lot of me being a piece of shit, ruining everything for months.
I've got the tomato cider theme song. Red Vine.
Red Vine. Oh, that's a
Nice.
good one. That's a Neil Diamond song.
Mm-hmm. And UB40.
It's a Neil Diamond song.
Mhm.
UB40.
It's
UB40.
Neil
That's
Are you 40? Because UB40.
oh, shit.
Oh, wow.
We're
look
way
at you.
too close.
Look at you.
So Nitty and I are the
Dad
same.
jokes.
We graduated high school the same year.
2001.
Yeah.
Oh boy, me too.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Are we
Yeah.
all
What?
That was
the
something that-
same age?
I was thinking about that today before coming here. I was like, I'm thinking about Nitty. I'm thinking about like Panda at Lefties. That, you know, you look at a lot of the people in the industry, like age groups, and there's waves. And like Boggs' era with Clay and all them, they were kind of an age in a wave. And then like we're of that,
4 or 5 years later.
we're
right?
we're now the ones that are like pushing 40 that have been in it for a few years.
How do you feel about that?
Honestly, I forget what age I am right now.
Yeah, never. I've never.
I play 31. My knee plays 47. So,
I mean, I wish I could shoot a 47 some days.
oh, I don't
Some
even
days I
know
will.
a
Some days I
handicap.
won't.
Yeah.
Like, staying sober by the end of the course is like always my goal.
It all changes.
Dude, but okay, this is the perfect. Let's get back to this Red Vine.
Right, perfect.
This beer is made
Cider.
for the golf course.
Cider.
Or cider, yeah. I mean, this is a beer.
It's a cider. Fermented apples.
Beer podcast, cider.
Hold on. What about if you did a really Sacramento thing and just called it Feta Serra, which is a Deftones track featuring the line, "When you're ripe, you'll be out of control. Blood is red."
I mean, I'm all for it.
Deftones.
I have a lot of Jackie Green songs.
Oh, I
too.
love Jackie
Deep
Green.
cut.
God, and he changed it. He's morphed so much since I first discovered him.
Oh, he's changed a lot. It's great. I love seeing how a musician changes their style. That it's not the
He's
same.
a great representation because like his early stuff is very much like these are people I like. I'm going to try to mimic them, and then
yeah, he was doing a lot of
struggling
Tom.
to
He was
find
doing a lot
his-
of Tom Waits.
Dude, I remember when he was doing the brunches at Pizza Rock.
Yeah,
That was like when he's just getting like constant, and then started booking the shit out of everything after
yeah.
that.
He actually did 6 music videos with my cousin. So my cousin who designed my artwork or my logo, he did 6 music videos for Jackie Green.
Yeah, he's so good. It's
Yeah.
really fun to like. I like watching a musician kind of morph and change. Who, besides Jackie Green, favorite Sacramento musicians? Let's do it. People that you would listen to no matter what they're doing, if they moved, if they found success elsewhere.
I mean, don't they already move anyways?
Tesla.
Yeah, they all leave. They all leave. It's a requirement of Sacramento that you can't stay here.
Tesla coming at you live. That's my jam.
Who's another Sacramento artist? I can't think of any. Cake is the only one that comes to my mind.
Cake's really great. I mean, that got bigger. Oof.
I don't even know that. No, there's people you would want to listen.
I mean,
to.
Papa Roach.
Kind of.
Deftones.
Yeah, Papa Roach is Vacaville, so that's
Yeah.
not
Yeah,
Sacramento.
I know we
Also
got
very fun. I
Deftones.
did a show in Coos Bay, Oregon.
Oof.
Oh.
So many stories from that one. But their sound guy is Papa Roach's bassist's dad, and I have never met a prouder father. Oh my God, he was so proud of his son. He's like, he does not just Papa Roach, he does soundtracks, and like he scores films. And he's
Well,
like,
that's impressive.
He's like, it's very cool what they're doing with that, but like the fact that they grew as artists and like kind of like fell out of like being a nu metal band to like forming this like really solid American rock band, and then he also can offshoot and do these things. I'm just so proud of all those guys. And it was like very cool.
Wasn't that our senior year when they did the Last Resort video where all of
yeah.
us knew somebody in the video, but it just wasn't us?
Oh, yeah, I remember that happened.
Everybody had a friend in the
Yeah.
video, and I'm like, you didn't tell me about it? And like, everyone's like, I'm in this. And I'm like, I didn't hear a goddamn word about this.
Oh, I first off, I would have not gone. Papa Roach was not my scene. So
That's fine.
I mean,
But-
I mean,
get on
they-
I mean,
camera.
I was
What
in a
were you
Michael
doing
Jackson
in
video.
1999 that made you not be a Papa Roach fan? That's crazy.
wearing
2000,
sweater
I guess.
vests. I was wearing sweater vests.
I think I was listening to Dave Matthews.
Oh, okay. That tracks.
Yeah.
I mean, I was also, but I still got the Papa Roach.
Yeah, I just couldn't do Papa Roach. if I wasn't listening to Dave, I was listening to classic rock, which is now what is classic rock called now?
Classical,
ancient rock.
Yeah, it's ancient
oldies.
now.
I think that's oldies now. We're getting like the 80s is classic.
Yeah, the 80s
rock.
are now classic. That's great.
Not the 90s is classic rock now. Everybody just for a moment just remember that Nirvana is classic rock and just get real sad.
Oh, that is sad.
That is
We
sad.
have to have another
It's a Debbie Downer.
Sacramento artist that's
I mean, okay, I'm going to tell you two vocalists who have been in many bands. They also do other things. They like play music within their bands that I like will follow to the ends of the earth. I'll listen to everything they do. First is Mike Sparks from Mr. Metaphor and Bridges.
Yeah, no.
And he's now in Seattle, but he does Mr. Metaphor is like a progressive indie rock band. Like such good, like they're so good at music. Just like playing off each other, doing different time signatures and stuff. And he's got this like kind of like a British accent kind of going along with it, but he's not.
Oh, so he just developed one just to.
No. He like just
Is he Madonna?
He doesn't have an accent.
is he the next Madonna?
I guess his phrasing is not particularly American. The way he like phrases his sentences also messes with time structures, but it sounds anyway. One of the voices I'll listen to forever, and then Tara Lopez
again
from Sister Cran, and now that's a new name for that.
it's going to be indie again. It's going to be indie music, right?
No,
Brother Lynch Hung.
Yes,
Okay,
brother.
yeah.
Brother Lynch Hung.
Yep.
No, one of the local bands I actually do enjoy watching. Golden Cadillacs,
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
100%. Those are always they're always
which
fun.
is their band is named after the drink, also.
Yeah.
So it's,
Not
which is great.
surprised.
Yeah.
One local artist, I just saw a post by him yesterday on Facebook. Philharmonic. He, I guess, was dealing with some kind of stuff and is in recovery and like is now just released some songs like encompassing sobriety and like the transfer, which again is a very common theme in our industry. Is like finding balance or not finding balance. Like it's hard to sometimes maintain, and you have to usually like cut off yourself. And so I was excited to see he's got new music. He's just dropped that on the other side of getting past a lot of it. So I'm curious to see how his music's going to morph from that because he's always amazing to watch. Amazing to watch. Oh, one band that I'm stoked on. I saw him playing Ace of Spades anniversary in 2020, actually, right before COVID. No, 2019.
Oh. Not the last
because
show.
I booked him for my, and then I saw him at Concerts in the Park, and then I booked him for my first anniversary show. And they're playing this Saturday before when you hear this at our anniversary show. Center Site is the name of them. Listen to them. If you see them out there and about, listen. They're big,
Saturday.
super big sound. With like a funk vibe, like an Incubus-ish.
Okay, I'm into
vibe
it.
and whatnot. Yeah, it's pretty cool. They got it. It was just like one of those. You know when you listen to a lot of it, and you're like, all right, cool, this is fun, and then you'll hear one, and you're like, whoa, like just caught me off guard.
Yeah,
that was one of that's. I think that's one of the local bands I'm really stoked on. And they took a big hiatus during COVID. I was trying to book them the whole time just to come out and play and hang out. So they're finally back. You'll start seeing them in the rotation again. But I mean, I was like, if Ace of Spades would book them,
yeah,
like we got them at Husick's, cool, yeah. They like our food a lot.
Oh my god, we can't go back to your food. Just go walk in, order a thing, and be happy.
Dude, the chicken nuggies are dope. Yeah.
Wait, you
got chicken nuggets?
There's like
nuggets?
McDonald's. We do a kids meal. The adults aren't allowed.
Oh, that's horseshit.
I'll hook you up.
Oh man.
I
Yeah.
feel like nuggets are for all ages.
Yeah,
Well,
there is no age limit for nuggets. It's like, oh no, you're now at tender's age. You got to order chicken tenders.
You know what? I'm gonna listen to you. I'm gonna do an adult chicken nugget plate.
Thank you.
It's like,
see, that's what you should do, right?
Yeah.
see, a lot of people do the kids meal just to not spend because everything's so damn expensive. And the kids meal is literally so
Also,
you
life
don't
hack:
complain.
get that meal at Chipotle. Do you do the kids meal?
Oh,
at
the
Chipotle?
quesadilla or the tacos? Yeah, the
They
kids meal.
they'll pack so much stuff into that, and it's like $5.
See, I've ordered
It's
that
nuts.
I've ordered that for my nephew.
God.
Did you just tell me what I'm having for dinner?
Yeah,
And do it online. Order online. They won't question you.
they won't question you in person either.
Oh, really? I
No.
always just order online because they're not going to see
But
a kid.
I look like a dad, so that helps.
Well, you are a dad.
I am a dad now, and that also
They'll look at
helps.
me saying, they're like, no, we know. You know what, bud? We
Don't walk in with your
Yeah.
sad bod.
They're
shirt.
like, just don't do it, bud. Here's some extra barbacoa.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like $6.
You look like a sad panda.
And it's like twice the food you get in a burrito.
It's ridiculous.
It's nuts.
That's nuts. Oh, I'm stoked. That's my dinner.
Yeah, I was just at
Get the kids'
Chipotle
box or
on
whatever.
Monday. There's nothing to eat on Monday. Or actually,
Yeah.
you guys were open Monday. I think it was Tuesday. I take
No,
that back.
no.
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
no.
we were open
Yeah, you
until
guys were
3 on Monday.
Oh, yeah, because of the holiday.
Because
No,
of the holiday.
it was Tuesday. I went to Chipotle for the first time in a while, and I decided to eat healthy, quote unquote.
Yeah. Oh, God.
love
that
that
quote
passes
unquote
off.
is very real.
I'm going to go no tortilla, but extra sour cream and guac, please, and
Yeah.
double cheese.
Hey,
Actually,
guacamole is healthy.
It is.
It's
That's-
avocado.
I use-
It's
I
a
use-
healthy fat.
It's a good fat, yeah.
I use guacamole.
I call myself the same thing.
yeah.
You're a healthy fat. That's what you are.
A good fat. No,
I'm
no,
an
a good
avocado.
Good fat, not healthy. You
Yeah,
don't use.
I'm a good fat.
God, I should make you guys an avocado cider now just for fun.
Oh my God.
Make you come back.
You need to. Yeah, that should be on. That should be your signature drink. Why don't you just have that?
Oh, my
year-round?
pineapple jalapeno has been taken over.
Oh my God. Well, yeah,
Oh,
of
that's-
course.
that's- a
It's
good one.
it's so funny. Anything
That's
I
what I
make
got when I came here
Could
the
you
first
choose
time.
some
Just goes-
pepperoni to throw that in
juice
there?
and pepperoni. I should make hot dog water cider while we're at it.
Ooh.
Do a pepperoni
Limp Bizkit's
jalapeno
back, so that's
pineapple
allowed.
cider. Mm.
You know what? There is a seltzer company that actually made seltzer with hot dog water.
Well, you could. I mean, it's no different than dry hopping. You throw it in. You throw it in the sack.
Mm-hmm.
You throw it into the keg. Close it up. And let the juice go around the meat and pull the oils
Oh
off
no,
of
you
it and
just
then pull it up.
boil the hot dog and take the water and just pour it in.
Yeah, it gets it brine in
Why?
there.
Why
Let
do
it
you-
seat in the juice.
Well, that's how I did the pickleback cider. I just got pickle brine, added
Yeah.
it into the keg.
You add the brine. That's
Yeah.
really what you're getting out of the
Oh,
hot
it was
dog.
so
is
good.
brine.
It
Hey,
was
you
so
guys drink
salty.
pickle juice, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Why else would I make that?
My
We're all
girlfriend hates
drinkers.
pickles. It's like the worst part of my life. Is like she hates pickles, anything pickled, and mustard. I'm like, you're ruining my whole
oh,
life.
There's.
that's
Has she gotten some help and like talk to somebody about that? Because I feel like
Does
that's
she
the only
ma-
way you can feel sometimes is like something tart like that.
When she leaves, oh my God, I go nuts. I'm like, where are the pickles and mustards?
like, Daddy needs a
Where's
green
my
bag.
avocado? She also doesn't like avocado, which is like crazy. It's
Well,
a
avocado
texture
doesn't have
thing.
any flavor. That's the other thing.
It's a texture,
And
thing
it's an
for her.
expensive habit. Like I wish I didn't like it so much.
Just grow your own. Just grow
We
your
have
own.
It takes
avocado
like 10
trees.
years.
They're 23 years old. I have avocado trees in my house.
Oh, lucky you.
Yeah.
look
We
at
got
him.
male
Oh,
and female
let me
bees
one up you really
and apple
fast.
tree to
Oh,
help them
Rockefeller.
do the thing. And they're the best avocados I've ever had. They're wonderful.
Really?
Do you know what kind they are?
No.
They're
Probably-
his.
They're mine?
Because none of us
They're-
have seen them.
They're rice.
Yeah. They're probably Haas, but because
Majority of California's Haas.
Yeah, I assume it's Haas. I'm not going to do the research to figure out what's the other one. I'm like, oh, let's assume it's Haas, but it's like so good. Like
Send it in.
that skin is so thin, and you just get all that flavor.
Do they peel like right off?
Oh, right off. Oh, it's so good. And she's just like, that's gross. I'm like, this is the best thing. I'm just like,
The poor people at Chipotle is like, hey, sir, why are you half cocked coming in for your kids' meal? Like, you should have heard the way this dude was talking about those avocados.
I'm here for it.
All right. Well, could you at least wait till that chubs down before you get your child's meal?
Yeah.
No, I cannot, though.
I was about to say, who doesn't like a good avocado? But I already know who. That
Oh,
sucks.
it's the worst. And she's like, she always threatens to chop them down. She's like, I'm going to cut those trees down. I'm like, don't
Why would you
dare.
do that? That's a gold mine right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true too. You could literally just pick some, put them in a bag. Go to if you're missing if you need $5,
money, yeah.
you just pick
Walk
some,
outside, put it on the front of my, like, just on my sidewalk. Hey,
yeah, like if-
avocados,
So
$2.
when is avocado season?
yeah.
That's what I wanna know.
I will say that as much as it's like, oh yeah, these are old and like we've got all this stuff, they're still really inconsistent.
Okay.
Like there'll be times when I have like 12 and
Look at the
15,
cover up.
20, and then there'll be times I have
This
zero.
is a cover up. He's trying to.
I've only owned the home
I'm
for a
looking
year and a
this
half.
way because I don't want to look him in the eyes.
I've only owned the
but
home
he
for a year
is
and a
trying
half,
to put
but I
us
will
off the
say
trail.
I'm
Yeah.
not getting much this year,
Sure.
which is very
Sure. 'Cause
frustrating.
you want them all for yourself. That's what it
It's
is.
kind of like when you're throwing this
I can
killer
make-
rager.
I can make a cider with
Do you
your
need
avocados.
lemons? I can get you lemons a million times.
I have a-
I
I'm a lemon
drown
guy.
under my Meyer
Yeah.
lemon tree.
There's
If you ever
so
need
many.
killer Meyer lemons when they're
my
dude,
my friend.
I don't think anybody doesn't have a lemon tree at this point.
My
I'm
friend down
just
the
so
street,
frustrated.
he gave me lemons for a cider, and I named it after his mom because it was. There's a story behind that. His mom passed away.
oh
and-
shit.
No, so yeah, my friend has a lemon tree, and he's like, "Do you want these?" And it was just at the timing when he gave it to me. He was like, "I want to make a cider in memory of your mom," and I made a lemon lavender.
Oh, dude, that was such a
And
such a good one.
We
I
that
love
was
the fuck
first.
out of it.
I put that on tap when we first opened here, and that was the first drink I poured here. Was the cider that Jane likes, and it was named after his mom, Jane.
Jane Says, obviously, is the
I
name.
was gonna. Well,
Two on the nose.
You said they were music themed, and then you did
cider-
not take the Jane Says.
I went with the song that Jane likes. It's a Dave Matthews song.
Oh, see, I don't know
See,
that.
yeah.
Okay, so you
Alright.
steered a little bit left.
I stand corrected.
I added
Classic
cider.
improv, A to C away.
Jane Says was too obvious.
That's true. On the nose. But that was an incredible cider. That was... I mean,
You couldn't name it Jane's Addiction because that's a lot of implication.
Yeah, that's a lawsuit waiting to happen.
Yeah.
yeah, I can't wait to taste Mountain Song or whatever that one is.
The tomato song one.
Yeah, the tomato song. But yeah, that was probably one of my favorites of yours, other than Candlelight and Roses, of course.
Is that on tap right now?
I don't think so.
I think Candlelight.
I don't think so.
I think it is. We brought it.
That's a perennial Husick's favorite. Like that's all. I think that's almost the only cider we buy.
Yeah,
there.
you guys are taking the watermelon cucumber right now.
I know. Yeah.
It's that season.
You
Yeah.
always have a Nitty cider on tap,
Yes.
which I always appreciate.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I don't
neighbors,
drink it
man.
very often, but like...
Besides Nitty's
yeah.
being a cool dude and all that, because we established that the first half of the podcast, how great Nitty is. Besides that, just a really great guy and great freaking ciders. Because you know what? Going back to like even Two Rivers being a not as sweet cider, I still thought it was too sweet for me. And so I would only drink ciders when I was super hungover and I was trying to drink like a Coca-Cola or something with some booze in it. And then I'd have a cider. And Nitty's is like literally I could come in and I'm like, all right, yeah, I could go fight a bear with this.
I mean, I've tried to. I mean,
Duh. Those Clarksburg Bears, which surprisingly I have a shirt that says that, but yeah.
well, that's because you're going to a different club.
We have a secret club in the basement at Husick's.
He lets everyone know he's the bear.
It's called the Bear Den.
Oh, no, I'm not even a part of it?
You've not been invited yet.
Anyway, it doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
don't look jealous of me. I'm sorry.
I'm a little bit
Next time,
upset about
we'll
that.
finish our Apple Hill trip at the Bear Den.
Oh, man. We need to do that.
Go in September, October. Pick a month. We'll go up
I
there.
feel like September is when they open, right?
Well,
Yeah.
they're open year round. It's
But,
just
like,
harvest.
really-
Harvest is September. Some apples are.
I want to go when it
like
rains,
August.
so there's not so much traffic.
Yeah,
Or you just go there at 8 a.m. before everyone and their mother shows up.
it's true. Yeah,
It's always fun getting stuck on Carson Road. Like, why can't I
Dude.
turn left? You don't turn left.
I've been there twice. Once just to go do that, and then once to do the wine tour,
Oh,
which involved me vomiting out of a car in Folsom.
Wait, did you do a
With
wine?
with our mutual friend I didn't know was a mutual friend, Caressa Summit.
Oh yeah, I just saw it this weekend in
hold,
Reno.
hold on. Where'd you do the wine tour? Amador County or something? Or?
No, it was through the Apple Hill
Oh,
thing. But I was like the person who was like, "Oh, you can't finish that? I'll take care of it." Like an idiot. It's a
Yeah.
party of 6 people. They're like, "I don't want."
sounds
this.
like something I would do.
They got
also.
Yeah.
like 4 or 5
Big
wineries
time.
up there now.
Oh, they have like
Yeah.
14 wineries on Carson Road.
Yeah, dude. I think it was like 8 or 9. Even like this was
They
like 10
have a
years
lot
ago.
of wineries up there, and
Which,
now,
I mean-
now they have more cider companies popping up, and it took a while, and I was shocked to see how long
Yeah,
it took
why?
them.
Yeah,
It's like you guys have.
Backwards.
They had like
it was-
2 breweries before they even had a.
Yeah, they
cider
had what is it? Jack Russell was up
Yeah.
there,
mm,
and then I forget what the other one was.
brewery. Yeah.
that was rough.
But then all of a sudden it's like, why don't you guys have any cider, hard cider? Well, let's just say hard, just to, you
Yeah,
know,
to clarify.
to clarify for people who don't know that cider is actually fermented apples, but hard cider. They didn't have anything up there. Jack Russell was quote unquote
It's-
making their own.
it's
Every now and then
funny.
I would do deliveries to them.
That was like until like 10 years ago. It was Jack Russell was like the only booze game up there. You're sitting there and everyone went to Jack Russell and you could tell it was busy because it was the only booze place.
Oh, and they were also ahead of the
nobody
game.
took that opportunity. Like we could just make our own hooch again.
We could
They
make
were
good stuff.
they had beer on one side and they had
And dogs
wine,
that would
they had
attack
wine
you.
and meat on the other.
Yeah.
Like they had everything set up perfect, and they have open space, which is great. So you can let I don't want to say kids run around, but you can just go run around. You can go frolic.
Everyone, yes, amongst the trees.
They did mead for a second. They had
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
this little cave in the back. The mead was
I can't do mead. Mead
It's so
not my
sweet.
style.
You know what? Strahd, I will say, I dig their meat. It's only because they actually ferment more of the sugar, but they're also rocking like 14%. So it's like, cool, you can have some, but you're going to have a good/bad time because they got a lot of the sugar out. But
Well, in that case, you got to treat it more like a wine.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's going to go down smooth and easy, but don't forget you're drinking 14% alcohol. It's like the same way
I
when
never
drink
forget it
ports.
until I do.
Ports are, what, 18 to 20%? And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, this is great. That's why they give you 3-ounce pours.
Tiny. Yeah, and I had to drink so much. People were like, "This is too sweet for me." I'm like, I'll take care of it. Don't dump it in the dump bag. Stupid, because it's just like instant vomit.
Oh, that's so great.
I think that's one of those.
We went up like we're gonna make a U-turn. Like if you make this U-turn, you got to pull over immediately because I'm not gonna make it.
It's kind of like beer fest and stuff. I was real proud of myself at the point where I like started doing short pours or like just give me an ounce. Like
beer fests
where
are the worst.
I'm not the dump bucket anymore. Like when I finally got to that point.
So there's this one beer fest that I'm sure everyone knows about, Boonville.
Yeah, I assumed Boonville as soon as there's a beer fest everybody knows about.
There was one year where Panda and I went and poured, and we finished. We were right next to the North Coast, and we were mixing blood orange with the Old Rasputin.
Oh my God! Give me that also.
And it was amazing. And we weren't offering it to the public. It was just what we were doing. But
it's like the orange you would break open.
So it was great. And then
on Christmas morning. Oh,
so once we ran out of everything,
give me my childhood, but alcohol.
Yeah. Once we ran out of everything, people kept coming up to the booth and like, "Hey, what do you have? What's your strongest?" We're out. Well, what do you have? No, we're out. And they see the dump bucket. They're like, "Well, can we get some of that,
dude?
Why?" So they took their glass and put it in the dump bucket.
Oh,
so
that's one reason why I hate beer fest so much. Is because when you get so drunk and you're so desperate for alcohol, you're going for the dump bucket. It's like, what are you thinking?
There's spit in there. There's all kinds of.
Oh yeah, like I'd pour for beers in sacks, so there would be the trailer, and there wouldn't be as much options. And so when it shut down, it was really shut down. And yeah, I don't think there was a single event where I would volunteer for them where there wasn't one kid drinking out of the dump bucket. Like I did it once as like a $20 bet.
Right. It's a bet.
Was that from what was it, Sideways? Did you get the inspiration from that?
No, I've never seen that movie.
You've never seen Sideways?
No.
Oh, he drinks the spit bucket.
I mean, so I'm not going to be like. To be fair, I've been that kid.
Right.
Especially.
We were all 24 once.
29, 30.
Yeah. Right.
I was 24.
I think the cutoff is like 32.
Yeah.
I mean, that's when I started making cider when I was 24, right out of college.
Look at this guy graduating from college.
Look at you.
I'm very fancy. I know it's 6
I have a
years.
degree.
What did you do? Get a graduate degree?
Cursive.
I learned my ABCs.
Yeah.
Someone handed you a diploma, and I just gave them a bunch of money, then walked away.
Yeah.
Can't even spell diploma.
Words are hard.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, I just want to brag for a second. My counselor, whatever they're called, the people that help you.
Counselor, sure, why not?
Sounds good.
Whatever.
Advisor or whatever.
Advisor, yeah, that's
advisor.
Better.
That is the word. Told me that I was going to learn nothing from the program, that I already knew it all. That I was just going to be forced to do it.
What program was that?
It was creative writing. 42 credits, much less than my initial thing of music production, which was 162 credits. And every class was 1 to 2 credits. Jeez. So it was like an 8-year degree. And also when you're done, you have to be able to play, you have to do piano for sure. And then 6 other instruments before you can pass. You have to prove that you can play these things proficiently. No, I'm not here to play music. I'm here to record music and make sure it sounds good, which seems like a different skill set.
Yeah.
I feel like just making sure it sounds good in the mix and giving ideas on how to progress things is very different than playing it.
So part of my requirement when I had to graduate, we had to do international studies, and it was your country region of choice, and I chose India. India. And the only reason why I did that is because I did a history of India, and then I had some world religion class. I was like, they all tie in. The last class I took was music of India. It was over my head. It was like, what am I doing here? I do not understand anything.
There's all new instruments.
I did pass
Phrasings?
no pass. I had to do pass no pass because there's no way in hell I wanted to get a C- in this class because
because
GPAs mean everything nowadays.
Yeah, you're dealing with instruments you probably never experienced, phrasings you never exexperienced, time signatures that are different. Everything is built around percussion.
I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine seeing that. Seeing how some of the sitar work would.
Oh, it's amazing. They're
on
constantly tuning it.
It's incredible.
Yeah, because you're bouncing between flat and sharp on a note.
Yeah.
In a single strum.
It's nuts.
You can't. Jesus. Yeah. No, thank you.
Yeah, I'm more impressed that I passed the class.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, all I wanted to see was that P. That's it.
Yeah.
Because I was not in the mood.
Yeah.
That's a sound clip for the intro right there.
All I wanted to see was that P.
Yeah, well, that could be anything
for
out of
pear.
context.
P for pear.
Yeah, perfectly. Yeah.
By the way, I don't have any pear ciders on top.
Speaking of P, I hear a Chipotle calling my name.
Yeah, we're at the time where I'm supposed to be like, hey guys, we got to get.
Hey, we need to wrap this up. It's been 2 hours now.
We got a kid's meal with my name on it.
All right, great. So we got to do the thing. I hope you guys know this. Just so you know, Nick, you're not required to know this stuff because
Okay.
nobody in your position ever does. But where can people find you online and what you guys are up to? What events do you have going on? All that fun stuff.
Website, nittycider.com, but it's probably better to follow any of the social media.
What are they?
I actually suggest following Instagram, Nitty Cider, or at Nitty Cider, because that's where we post everything. It's synced to Facebook, but no one really uses Facebook anymore.
Nobody,
Yeah.
especially for what you're doing.
Dude.
It's Instagram.
I've noticed I get more responses through
it's
Instagram
it's
than
like a
anything
10
else.
to 1 at least.
It's
right?
ridiculous.
Facebook's like, what's your address? That's all I get off of Facebook.
It's like, what are you talking about? It's literally, first of all, it's in my bio. Second, you have a map app somewhere. When it so a little complaint about booking comedy.
Oh, man.
Somebody was like, "What's the address?" I'm like, I
You
gave
have
you
a-
the venue name. Like
you
that's
have a phone.
It's not a person's
2022.
house.
You have a powerful tool in your hand, and you don't know how to use it.
There's a person who's like, in a senior home. I'm like, that person, yeah, I'll give him the address because I got to find a driver. That's fine.
Yeah.
But like, there's a 35-year-old man who drives for a living who's like, what's the address? Like, bruh,
I've had people say, like,
you know
they've
the name
given-
of the place.
you just punch it in.
I've said, hey, where is this? They're like, oh, it's this place. Okay, cool, thanks. Oh, do you want the address? No, I have a phone.
Yeah.
I can look it up.
Yeah.
How do I get
unless
there?
unless
just
there are
be a name.
multiple ones that I don't know about it,
Yeah.
there's a huge difference. Like I did a delivery. I used to do home deliveries during the pandemic,
Oh, yeah.
which actually kept me alive. And I was delivering to, I forget where it was, but they had to specify a south and a north or east west. I forget which one it was.
Right.
And they said, do not go the other way. And I said, oh, my phone.
Automatically.
No, my phone says to go to your house. It never even crossed my mind that there was another one. It was like, this is where you told me the address was. But apparently,
It
not
happens
everyone's
enough.
not everyone's bright
People
enough.
won't put like the south or the north in, and they'll do that. It's
And you kind of well, I remember I started doing a show in Vacaville for the people that own Sackyard. They have a venue out there,
Beer 40.
Beer 40.
Oh yeah.
And my Apple Maps took me to a shopping center a half mile away. Like this, I'm like driving through. Like, where is this?
Well, yeah,
place?
you had to walk there. That's
It says
why.
it's like a fully outdoor venue. Where
Yeah.
is it in this shopping center? My girlfriend's an Apple Map gal, and I'm a Google Map guy, and we all know how those people get
Yeah.
together. And it's like I'm gonna go to Google Maps. Like, oh, it's a half mile down the road, and it's like we get to
Oh,
like,
shocking.
oh yeah, obviously this is where we need to be.
Shocking. Google
Thank-
Maps was on point.
Yeah,
Huh.
usually Google Maps is usually on point. Ben, can I give you some advice?
No.
From what I've heard about this girlfriend of yours, do not have a kid with her
Oh no.
or buy a house.
That's a bad idea.
Oh, no!
Yeah,
Or
never
buy
do
a house.
that.
Please do.
I did
do
both
not do
of
either
those.
one of those.
Oh, you know what?
I'm tied in.
There may be hope for you. I don't know.
I don't
I
know.
feel like it's gonna be fine.
I hope so.
I hope so too, dude.
Yeah, it's a
My
lot.
advice: run. No.
Yeah, it's too
I mean,
late.
wait until after avocado
Yeah.
harvest and
If
then
she ever
yeah.
cuts down that avocado
Oh,
tree,
dude, that might be.
She wants to put her pool in place though, so that's
no.
like it'll
Build a
hike
pool,
our
put it-
insurance rates.
Put make
heard
an
of
island with avocado tree in
heard
the
of a
middle of the pool.
Doughboy, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Above ground stuff. Just do an above ground.
not
pool.
what they called you as a kid.
right.
That's my favorite donut, Doughboy.
Yeah, for some reason, Uncle Ben's was an insult,
Oh Lord,
and also Benjamin Franklin. They're like, "Hey, take this, you Benjamin Franklin." I'm like, the guy that invented like 9 million.
I was like, that's an
things?
insult? Like,
Yeah.
You're insulting me?
one was like a known coxman. The other one was a very racist insult.
Yeah. Also, just a heads up, my nickname was Instant Rice because I would
God.
change.
I like that.
Okay.
Because I would
That's really good.
But
No,
we were also,
did anyone call you the San Francisco treat?
yeah, that
Oh,
also
no.
happened, and that was a gay slur for sure.
Yeah.
But Instant Rice is because I could change a basketball game in an instant with my shooting
Oh. That's
and
what it was.
defense. I was a hound.
Were you the tallest one in school?
I was always the second tallest, and it was very frustrating. Like one time I'm going to be the tallest, and it never happened.
Oh.
And it was very
So
frustrating.
the person who was taller than you, is he still taller than you?
yeah,
Wow.
it's very frustrating.
That is frustrating.
Do you know their name?
Well, the first one was Ignacio, and fuck that guy, because he was like first, second, and third grade just towered over me. I'm like, I'm tall. I'm like, nah.
Not
Was-
tall enough.
Was he Hispanic? Like historically, they're
Yeah,
mostly
I-
shorter. But Ignacio
like-
is like, "Fuck you, Ben. I am gonna break all
I'm 6'6".
all rules."
Yeah.
Ah,
Is he an NBA player now at least or something?
I hope so. I hope he's like in the G League.
He's probably playing out in Europe.
He's probably playing soccer. Let's face facts.
His girlfriend probably eats avocados.
And loves pickles and mustard.
Pickles and mustard.
Loves it.
Man, I don't know which. I think I would give away again. Avocados are expensive.
Speaking of mustard, I've done a wasabi
Yeah.
cider as well.
Ooh.
Oh man.
Yeah, I get weird with the cider.
Mix that with the tomato one.
That's a good idea. I wanted to mix the pickleback with the tomato one.
Do all three. That's a perfect
might as
Bloody
well.
Mary.
Yeah.
I'll do that. Don't even need a reason to do it.
Going.
Called Saturday
do that.
morning.
That's a good one. Or Saturday morning.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the Saturday morning cartoons?
So we're gonna go to @Nitty Cider on Instagram, right?
Yeah, go to.
We're doing the outros. This is how it always goes off the rails.
Yeah, no, the best way to follow me is actually through Instagram because that's where I post everything. You get everything that's up to date of what's on tap, anything that's new and fun that's coming out. I'm trying to think. The latest one was a cherry vanilla coconut. Jill, who works.
I like that you added nuts. I'm like cherry vanilla Coke.
Nuts. Yeah, Jill. That was Jill's brainchild. We made it and brought it to life, and it's currently on tap right now. So hopefully by Monday, when you hear this, you can try it on Tuesday. For
and hopefully,
tacos
I
and
actually
trivia.
get this edited by Monday.
Yeah.
The child throws
Just
a
sleep
lot
in.
of.
There's a lot of
Yes.
promises.
Ooh, my
in there.
girlfriend is out of town this weekend, so I will have time when she falls asleep.
Nice.
For those listeners at home going, hey, got it on a Monday. That's how it happens.
Dude, he's gonna have
Even
some
better.
pickles, some mustard,
Oh my God, I'm
avocado.
gonna go fucking nuts.
Editing this.
People have been requesting the pickleback cider, and it's throwing me off because it's like when I made the jalapeno cider. I thought it was a joke.
Dude, if you
Because-
can
No.
get an Irish whiskey from fruit, and then you have the pickleback cider behind it, I'd be all over that jam.
I can just get a bourbon barrel aged cider and then have the pickleback cider on the side. There you go. Bingo, bango, bongo.
Bingo, bingo,
Oh
bingo.
my God.
I'm in. And then you can find Husick's Taphouse at Husick's Taphouse on Instagram. That's where most of all my stuff is. If you're listening to a podcast, you've got Instagram, go there. You can add us on Facebook too.
And then you can
There's
see
probably
all.
links to websites. Like anything you need.
Just
is
go
like
through all
on
my
You can
shirts.
see all of Josh's great shirts
Oh my
on
God.
Instagram.
Oh my God, his videos are great.
I got some bangers. I got some real bangers.
It was really funny. We had that show last Friday that had a great turnout, like the best turnout we've had in months.
Which makes me
and
happy.
like,
Oh, yeah, I saw that picture.
and
it was packed.
Becky's like, oh, it must have been that video that like boosted him. Like, he has a video every time. It's like a complete crapshoot. Like,
Yeah, there's I've
there's
done
you
everything.
have no idea what's
Like-
gonna hit.
Like I'll give you $1,000 to walk in, and we have zero business.
I
Like,
watch, I want you to like pinpoint what will work in this algorithm because it doesn't
There
make
was
sense.
there's no like you like sometimes the shows will do better when I don't say anything. Like there's
There's no rhyme or
there's
reason.
no- yeah.
What I have found is if I book any comics who are listening, please turn the sound all the way down or stop listening. Anytime I book a dog shit lineup, people just pack the place out.
It's nuts.
That's
I'm like, this guy's from LA. He's won awards. You can
Yep.
see him on like Netflix. And, like nobody shows up.
dude.
I'm like,
Wow.
here's a bunch of open micers. Like, yeah, we're gonna pack the
well, they
place
probably
out.
do that because they can say, "I can do that. I can be that guy."
No, it's
There's
weird.
no
Like
rhyme or
nobody knows.
reason.
Nobody knows that comes there. Nobody knows comedians that come to those shows.
Yeah.
Like I'll see your lineup. I'm like, oh, these are bangers.
Actually,
And
girl-
then
And then
nobody.
It's empty.
It's dead. And I'm like, here's a bunch of open micers that just, I'm like, hey, this show's a competition. It's like, it's fun to play like new people versus veterans. It's a fun thing.
like
a girl I went
homies
to
in
high
town.
school with.
And then they had veteran cancels. I'm like, here's a bunch of newbies.
I was gonna say a girl I went to high school with actually does cutthroat.
Yeah.
Nicole.
Eichenberg?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she lived around the corner from my parents' house.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw her perform at Husick's at Cutthroat.
Yeah.
That was the night when Becky was there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who is a co-founder, co-host, but never appears. She's a mysterious unicorn.
That's how she rolls.
It's actually because it's a Friday and she's busy.
Having a whole.
She's like, oh, no, I mean, I'm just opening for Arj Barker. It's not a big deal. Oh, Tom Papa needs an opener. Oh no, sorry, can't
Heaven
be there.
forbids.
What
She
a,
turns her nose up and everything as she says it too. That's the worst
yeah,
part.
that's the worst part. Probably is like, I'm sorry, I'm busy working with a comedy legend that weekend. I can't make it.
So events coming up. Clearly not my anniversary party. That'll have passed.
That'll
Yeah,
have
but-
passed.
So I
August
but
5th.
we're gonna do a thing.
I think there's Taste of the Delta's coming up in August.
Mm-hmm.
Was that August 6th?
If you look up on the social Sip of Summer, which is a fundraiser for we're trying to build a park with a pool so I can go on the water slide.
Would they allow you in that pool?
Yeah.
In the water slide?
Yeah.
You have to
like,
bring a child with you?
I don't have restraining orders or anything.
Just
so-
asking. There are parks
I
in
know
San
kids.
Francisco that say no adults allowed unless accompanied with a kid.
I've got nephews. I'm good. I'll take them out.
But yeah, there's the Taste of the Delta that's coming up in August, and then I
Mm-hmm.
know in September I'm doing the Christian Brothers Wine Beer Extravaganza, which is always a fun event because you get I get shit showed. I mean, I'm a shit show at my old high school, so it's great when you're drinking with your old teachers and they say you're going to be a failure. I'm like, yes, I am.
Well, in September you were talking like your golf tourney. September is like the month where like golf tourneys pick back up. So it's like every other day and weekend there's like an event or something that's just going to get you
I'm
blackout.
I'm sponsoring a golf tournament on September 4th. It's a golf tournament that me and a couple other friends put on. It's in memory of our friend who passed away 5 years ago, and we've been doing a golf tournament ever since.
Where at?
It's at Lamb Park, the fanciest country club ever.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, I know it.
And last year, my team finally won. It was great. It was well deserved.
How many teams are you up against?
There are 10 foursomes.
Okay.
And we can add more as long as
odds are you doubling your odds.
10 foursomes is the minimum.
Okay.
Because it's going to be a shotgun start. September 4th. It's a Sunday and it's at 5:00 because the rates are a lot better and
that twilight rate, boys.
Yeah.
And we get the course to ourselves at the very end, which is nice.
That and the bums, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the bums are nice.
Yeah.
They're great. I had one of my favorite Land Park experience I've ever had was watching someone have a picnic on the 9th hole. And you're teeing off and you're looking and you're like, is that a picnic?
Is that a family of 27?
What's going on? I almost did actually hit someone on the 5th hole.
Which one's the 5th hole? Like,
It's right
I know
there.
ears, butt, nose.
It's at Lamb Park and what is that? 13th, 12th.
Oh,
So I almost hit someone. No one was walking in the fairway, and coast was clear, so I swing and I pulled it. All of a sudden, I see a couple walking, and I hit a line drive and just went right over their head. I yelled for duck. I did everything, and when they saw what happened, they went the other way.
Yeah, well, it is a golf course.
So people need to remember, Lamb Park is also a golf course.
Right.
Don't have a picnic or walk across the fairways because there are signs that are posted, don't walk across the fairway.
It's not unclear.
People don't read. People really don't read, man.
Like I said, words are hard.
Yeah, words are hard.
Yeah.
Nobody listens to shit or reads shit. Yeah, so I mean, we've got comedy on August 5th. I think that's the biggest takeaway.
Championship edition.
Yes.
Check out this lineup.
Who's the lineup?
You've heard all
tell
these
me.
names. Tristan Johnson.
Mm-hmm. Hilarious.
Put your money on that one.
Yeah.
But also, give everybody a chance. Luke Severide. So we had an edition where we had a comic from LA and Seattle because they were in town for a competition. And so I ended up booking the person who got fourth because I knew those people weren't going to come back. And the person who started I don't think stand-up's for me. I've been trying it. I don't think it's for me. I don't feel comfortable with it. So I booked the fourth place winner. And then last week, the person who won's like, hey, I'm going to be back in the area. I'm in town for these dates. I'm like, I noticed there's a gap on the 5th of August. Would you want to do this show again? And he's like, yeah, sounds great. Let's do it. So Luke Severide, who's one of my favorite people, let alone comics of all time, will be there. Alvin Duke, who cleaned up. Heather Rogue, absolute crusher.
Not seen. All right.
Jess Roberts, which was one you didn't see, was the one where you had your one off where we didn't have a show at your location. Yeah. And recent winner, Subhash Sharma.
Have not seen. I've been wanting to see. All right. I think you'll see me there.
He won last week.
So what do you win is what I want to know.
So what you win is a gift card.
Pride.
To Husick's Taphouse.
I thought it was Pride, yeah. Pride sounds better.
A lot of pride. A lot of you can flash it.
Glory.
You get money. So everybody at the competition, you get 5 votes per person. It's a $5 charge. And then you use that to vote for 5 different people. Or maybe you give all your money to one person. So you can make anywhere in that realm. But there's 6 people. That's what makes it cutthroat. You only get 5 votes, 6 people.
Got it.
No matter how good they are, especially the championship.
Somebody gets to know they
Somebody
aren't
gets
that
like,
good.
nah, you don't get it. And you get $1 a vote.
And you get it's actually more fun, almost more fun at the end when you watch people like not wanting to be mean.
Yeah,
but then they're also like,
you
this
have to
person
be.
was really
sounds
not
like
that
it.
good. Like they're like,
You have to acknowledge it.
yeah, they stop their hand. They're like, fuck, I just cannot give them a vote and move. And and then you get to watch their face being dejected.
Yeah, and then you have the people who are like, I don't want to give a vote to the clear winner because they're going to win.
No,
and then sometimes that person ends up being second because everybody does that.
Yep.
And so it's very fun. And then there's sometimes, it's very rare, but people will just throw bills into the bin. And that counts. That counts. Like any vote is a vote. So like,
I'm bringing a stripper stack for.
Like I had one where like, hey, the winner is this person. Like, but wait, that person made $125 because people gave them cash to their hand. I'm like, that's your mistake. Don't put it in their hand. Put it in their bucket because it doesn't count if you give them their hand. So
I definitely have to come to this.
So it's
August 5th, date night.
August 5th.
Date night.
Killer show.
This will be our Apple Hill planning.
It actually stems from a discussion I was having with a mutual friend, former roommate DJ Sandu.
Oh yeah,
who holds the record for most money made at $247. Not at your location, but he did have that record because the show's existed in so many venues.
Yep. 247. That's.
But it's been
a good
the whole.
night.
I think 3 years.
Yeah.
With Husick,
Yeah.
6 years total. But he holds the record. It wasn't close. People were just dumping 20s in his bin.
If you watch Vice, he was on the first episode of Killer Mike's new show. Yeah, he's kind of funny.
Yeah, he's great. And he stemmed it because there's him and a comic had beef, and they're like, I'm funny to this person, so I put them together. I'm like, here's an audience that can demonstrably prove who's funnier with money.
Oh, that's great.
Let's see what happens. And in that show, he won 62 to 28. And there's 4 other comics still, but that was the kind of here's the proof that DJ Sandu is funny because I'll defend to the end of the earth that DJ Sandu is funny, and people who say he's not are dumb.
Yeah.
So
they don't have ears.
Yeah, it's like, are you not observing reality? That's a thing for you. But he was definitely somebody hated. I'm like, I want you both to be paired up in this, and let's see what happens. And DJ wasn't a fan of that person either, so it was very fun. That's kind of the idea behind the show. And then
August 5th, we'll create a new
August 5th.
New champion, previous champion Steph Sanders and Aurora Singh.
Oh yeah.
So if you do this for another 3 years, we'll have an absolute grand championship.
Maybe I'll work on a tight 3 myself.
Yeah. Again, when I'm counting votes, I need someone up on that stage.
Yeah.
So I'll
co-host.
I'd like someone up on that stage.
I'll co-host. Yeah.
Doing
You
jokes.
should have a billboard. Not what you should do, but that'd be cool if you had a billboard or something.
Look, I'll take all the advice.
No, I'm saying that'd be pretty cool to have a live feed of here are the votes tallied, at a golf tournament where they show the score as you go. That would be pretty cool.
That's the new you should.
Yeah.
You need a golf board.
We need a live stream that people want to watch. We need
Twitch. Just do it on Twitch. There you go.
We need people to vote during the show, then take votes back.
The only person watching
actually
is my
turns
grandma.
out don't want. You're required to put all your 5 votes into the first person's bucket. So, this guy has 120 votes, and you take him out for the second one and just watch the things rise and fall.
That'd be great.
Jesus.
That would be a disaster.
All right, boys. It's Chipotle time.
It's Chipotle kids meal.
All right. Here's a Taphouse
Nitty
cider. Easy. Nobody's doing brewing, company, all that stuff. It's out. Just do it. Barley Me Pod across social media. Very easy. Comedy. Just go. They're all the flyers. You're like, this is too many flyers. That's right. It's on the Instagram. Facebook, sure. I mean, they're all shared
It's
from
somewhere
Instagram.
out there.
If it looks like they're making their own flyers, they need the most support. Those are the ones you need to go
I make all my own flyers. So I need so much help.
With cats on them.
Yeah.
Cats, beer mugs.
Yeah.
I'm flailing at the
Submit your
wind.
submissions.
Yeah, I will. If you have ideas, Barley Me
like
Pod
that.
across social media, Barley Me Pod. Please dunk responsibly. I could use a second listener. That would be great. At Please Dunk Responsibly on Instagram. Please Dunk Pod on Twitter. PLZ Dunk Pod. Slide into our GMs. Let us know your trade ideas, your draft ideas, all that stuff. I also Bengineer, an advice podcast called It's Crazier in My Business with comedians Tavi and Becky Lynn, one of whom I have a child with and own a home with.
Tavi.
It's Tavi. No, it's Becky Lynn. But listen to that. They are quickly approaching their 50th episode. I don't know what we're going to do. It's going to be crazy. We recorded an episode last night, and it turned out that they didn't double check some stuff. So that's not available. Yeah, I do a lot of stuff. All right, just Barley Me Pod. That's really where we
Google it.
Just put it in the Google.
On the Apple Podcast.
It's still the first 3 pages are me, and that's what's important. That's how I know I have a good name. There's no secondary results till page 3.
Dig it.
Sorry. Let me do this. Josh Kress, thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me.
Nick Vellanoweth, a name that has not been said on the record yet. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you for coming.
This has been episode 165 of Barley Me. Thanks so much for listening. Get home safe.